Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It's the semi-finals of GSL. We've got Gumiho here in the bottom right side of the map, playing Terran Hero in the top left. The massive favourite in my mind to win the entire season of GSL, and I've been saying it since the start of the season. Without Clem or Cyril in there, I mean, Clem, Hero, and Cyril are head and shoulders above everybody else in the world right now. It doesn't mean he's definitely going to win, but Hero comes in as a big favourite. It's a best of 5 for him. Best of 5 between Classic and Cure on the other side of the bracket. And then, of course, the best of 7 grand finals. We're doing these casts all back to back. I am spoiler free. I have woken up. I have not looked at Team Liquid. I have not looked at Reddit. I have stayed off Twitter. I am not looking at the results. And we are casting it live on my stream, as we do every day after GSL, since they do drop those Patreon replays so quickly afterwards. So I've also had our lovely moderator, Eon Blue, has done a big favor. He's gone and put fake replays as needed in the folders. So as I'm loading these replays up, I don't have the time switched on. Every single, if it's the best of 5, there's 5 replays. If it's the best of 7, there's 7 replays. So there's no spoilers for me, so I have no idea what's going on, which means I will be very much on the edge of my seat, as you are, with no idea of what's going to happen. And for me, I just find that's best, because it keeps me the most curious, the most open-minded about what's going to happen. It's always slight kill buzz when you just don't know, right? Sorry, when you do know. When you know what's going to happen ahead of time, and you end up kind of puzzling out, oh, how's it going to get to there? Now, Probe being nice and annoying for Hero, one of his favorite things to do. And he comes in here right at about 1:40, which is when the Terran usually hits 400 minerals. But of course, he's already delayed him a little bit, just by the Probe being a nuisance, of course. That delays your Cyber Core, your Nexus, your Pylon as well on Hero's side of the map, but it's one of Hero's favorite ways to start a series. Just send that Probe across the map against Terran, get in their face, harass them, annoy them, disrupt their opening. And it slows both of you down a little bit, but it means there's no surprises. And it just lets your opponent know, hey, you know how I'm difficult to play against. Oh, I'm also really annoying to play against, because my Probe's going to get in your face, and he's just going to be harassing you from the very start. All right, Reaper's running forward. We do have an Adept first. Shield Battery on the natural. That's interesting, guys. He's going core first. Why is he going for a shield battery against a 1-max expand? Because that slows down things like your second gateway, potentially. Interesting. What's that about? Sentry. Adept Sentry. I do love Adept Sentry. Adept Sentry is a very nice build. Does delay the Twilight Council just a little bit, but not too badly. And of course, instantly going to scout across this map. Now, there's an argument there's no need to scout this early, right? Against a 1-max expand. But he's going to see the second barracks instantly. Gumiho's a trickster. So it's really useful, actually, to see this. Why is the factory up here, by the way, guys? It's like a semi-hidden factory, I guess? I don't know, man. It's kind of a weird placement. I guess he wants to just make it sure there's no way to blink into the main by completely walling it off. You're going to see a second barracks. You're aware there is a higher chance of aggression. Second gateway does go down still at a decent timing. But yeah, odd choice to build a shield battery. I've got to say, understanding Hero's shield batteries continues to be the puzzle that is unsolvable for me. I just don't think there's an answer. I think he just throws them down at Hero timings when it feels right to him, because it kind of defies the logic of when most people go for shield batteries. But that is, most people go, okay, if there could be an attack in the next 30 to 45 seconds, that's when we want a shield battery going down. Hero seems like he just has this certain time, certain builds. There's a comfort he wants from them. Now, this is interesting. He's going to play Storm Drop after Blink, right? Because he's gone 4 gas with no Robo. What is this build? Guys, Hero's doing Hero things. What's he doing? What is this? Hallucination getting intercepted by the Cyclone. Well, that's actually really cute. That's pretty damn good, dude. So Hero's not able to see the follow-up here. There is no third barracks. It's just going to be a swap over into a 2-1-1. So this nation's going to expire before he gets there, I think. Going to come in and see no attack leaving the base. And he will see that starport swap over just in time. Okay, just before the hallucination does puff out. Okay, Forge and Templar Archives go down. So it is indeed the build we talked about. With no Robo, he can't make a Prism. Battery in the main. Because, I guess there could be a double drop. But you're on 2 base. Do you really need another battery here? Hero is starting off this series doing absolutely peculiar Hero things. But Gumiho, remember, he really struggled against Classic. where Classic scouted aggression and super hard countered it in game 1 of their series yesterday. So, lots of Marines, tanks starting as well. There is still SCVs being produced, 3 gases plus 1s on the way. Of course, with Stim coming in, that's nice, but no combat shields for a long time with this build. Second Medevac's going to join out. They're going to move forwards across this map. Stalker's looking to intercept. Cyclone's in the top right side of the map. Will he find it? The answer is yes. Here we go. He's going to pounce. And Hero does take the Cyclone out very easily. But that means the double drop boosting through the middle of the map could catch him off guard. Charges on the way. 3 gateways. Another shield battery on the third as well. How bizarre. Shield batteries are usually your lowest priority when dealing with a hypermobile attack force like a double medevac drop, guys. Normally it's about raw unit numbers and positioning, but he's going to try and fill up a High Templar with energy. Does he have enough units to really defend, though? With no charge, it's a lot of Stim Marines, a lot of firepower. Zealots will tank a little bit, but of course not really able to do any damage. And there we go, these Marines, their firepower. Battery cannot save you from this. Storm still 10-15 seconds away. These Marines could even focus fire the High Templar if they want to. Probes have to get pulled. And Hero here caught with his pants down. Marines coming in, getting very good damage. Gumiho, very decisive, but remember, you need more than good damage. Hero is so good at wriggling his way out of trouble, and you don't want to lose these medevacs. Gumiho went too deep. See, the tail end of that doesn't even get the sentry. Way more losses than he could have if he pulled out when he was here after killing the first probes. Totally different situation. As it is, units lost have 200 now in favor of Hero. And yes, he lost economy, so I think, I don't think Gumiho's in a bad spot. He's got a third CC coming in, combat shields, plus 1's about to finish, all this sort of stuff, but definitely not as clean as he would have liked it to be. Stalkers come forward. They do take a tank shot. 1 Stalker goes down. They do take a Marine or 2, though, as revenge. Warp Prism's on the way for Hero. He's got Storm, he's got Warp Prisms, and it's time for Gumiho to pull back and try to defend this third, which he built on location as well. Great greed behind his early aggression. Second eBay Armory going down so early. And we know that Gumiho loves this style. So this is what we call the numbers style, right? This is where Gumiho doesn't... He often delays ghosts for a very long time, which you could argue isn't advisable against Storm, but he's going to have so much more Marine Marauder, and he's going to be doing a lot of drops usually. And I think it's a good style for this map. Drop the main with half your army, the other half goes somewhere else, and really be effective. Stalker comes in, we'll take the Marine out on the tower. Warp Prism and Medvac both cross paths on that side of the map. Hero's got pretty good map control, and then he does have both watchtowers and a Warp Prism forward. These Marines are going to unload and then try to move forward and maybe stim and potentially cancel a 4th. Robo-Bay on the way. It's a big map, good for Protoss, remember. This is, of course, going to be the hero-favored map, almost certainly. But Drilling Claws being added for Gumiho, so he's going to play Drilling Claws with his Mass Fire. Like I said, he's going to play Mass Mobility. That makes sense. If you can get rid of, like, the Observers, you can be in here, and the opponent's just going to be chasing into Widow Mines everywhere. And constantly trying to rebuild observers and just deal with that is going to be such a problem. Zealot drop into the main base. 3 more barracks do go down. Zealots coming forwards. Marauder. Oh, watch out! Widowmine does get a good shot on those Zealots. On those SCVs, I should say. The Zealot there picking up at the last second. Marine drop still waiting on the right side for an opening. Second Forge is there for Hero. Plus 2 weapons has started for Gumiho. Gumiho's got the gas up on the 5th base as well. And that Viking being built very necessary here for Gumi. Now, where's the push timing for Gumiho, guys? I mean, he's gone 8 barracks. It is, like I said, a mass bio style. I think it really is about take the watchtowers, drop the main with half your army, push the third down here with the other half, and try to split the fights up as much as possible. Obviously, there's always the problem, though. If you're not looking for a moment, you fly into a... Prism recalled, guys. Prism did recall. If you fly into Storm, run into Storm, run into Colossus when you're not looking, because the game's going to get kind of scrappy, that can get nasty. Uh-oh, here we go. Hero going to dive forward. 4th Command Center, an easy picking. Marine Marauder on the right side does take a Storm. More Marine Marauder coming forward, but dude, he's got to watch out for these Storms. That bio needs to pre-spread. Good spread. He's put the SCV lines under assault. So many Storms for Hero. Oh my gosh, how many Storms does he have? There's a bunch of bio in the main. The Marines do counterattack and cancel the 4th, but oh my lord. The power of Storm compels ye. Oh my gosh. So many Storms. Oh my lord. When you fill up the High Templar, the first moment you walk one in, even before Storm's done, then you fill up another, then you fill up another. You just have like 3-4 maxed out energy High Templar. There's just nothing Gumiho can do against this. Bit too outnumbered there. You know, I thought he was doing really well with his initial double drop. Did stay too long for sure, and that gave up a bit of map control, and maybe that's what got him killed here. It's interesting, because this is always weird, these 2 barracks build orders, but I felt like Gumiho got away with such nice greed. He should have been in a pretty good position, but let's double check it. Yeah, I think, you know, I do think having a few more gateway units is probably more important than the shield batteries. I stand by that, but if he, at this point, after killing these probes, maybe gets that Reddit point Stalker, yeah, at this point, if he leaves, it'd be a bit better. It's scary, like, or at least when he makes those 3 Stalkers blink backwards, because then he knows he can't get pursued by blink. Instead, he chases, he gets 1 more Stalker, but he loses a medevac and like 7 more Marines, 8 more Marines. So I think that was a bit of an overcommitment, and that gave up map control, whereas if he kept map control here, you can imagine it's much scarier for Hero, right? It's harder for him to get back in position, to probe up his 3rd. So I do think that was just a little bit of an overextension for Gumiho, and I think that did cost him just a little bit. Other than that, though, it's tough in these scenarios where he's like, 8 barracks were going to be kicking in, all these different things when that attack comes, and maybe he'd missed a few rounds of units we could criticize or something like that. But it's just tough when they have that much Psy Storm. You need like Libs and Widow Mines or something like that spread through, so that you've got like some sort of artillery essentially to cover your position. 2 tanks feels like just isn't that effective against this army. They're mostly shooting zealots, which they don't really do much damage against. And I guess this army was a little spread. He had, how many Widow Mines? 4. 1, 2, but yeah, this Widow Mine's not burrowed. That one's nowhere near the fight. 8 Marines up here, not really in the fight as well. A few Marines and Marauders in the main, and he's got a lot of production, but his army just is not that big at this moment, and it's also a little bit scattered. You've got to realize there's at least 8, probably 10 Psy Storms in there, which is just an insane number. So you really need like spread out Mine Lib, maybe the Viking on the front to shoot down the Prism earlier. It's just a tough position to be in for Gumiho. Really nice timing for Hero. GG, well played in game 1. All right, guys, Gumiho with a pretty nice game 1, but the Sentry opening for Hero, spotting what's happening. Gets his batteries across his bases. Good little pack of Stalkers. Starts going for Zealot Storm. And he loses a few probes. But he also kind of lures Gumiho's units into the trap at the same time. And Hero is so good on the edge of death. But this map is Pylon. A much better map for Terran pushing. Smaller map. Less room for Hero to breathe. That being said, I think Hero, being such a dynamic player, can be just as good on small maps as he can on big maps, you know? If you're playing a more defensive Protoss player, the big map, I think, is so scary. Like, oh no, what do I do against him? But then you get on the small map and you think, haha, you're no longer strong. In this case, you're playing Hero. I mean, every map Hero is intimidating. He's scary. But I'd love to see Gumiho bring something out. I often feel like when I watch Gumiho versus Hero series, Gumiho gets a good move, gets another decent good move, and then everything just crumbles. And I guess that's kind of what happened in that last game as well, right? Like, I was like, oh, this is still pretty decent, and then it just crumbles, right? There's just this, like, moment where Hero just stomps him so hard in a fight. And we've seen this many times where I think Gumiho is so used to getting his opponents on the ropes, and then they often turtle up a bit or get overly defensive. He's a little greedy there, and then he swarms them once that greed pays off. And Hero seems to very consistently find the counterattack timing against Gumiho, and know when to thrust in to not give him the room to get away with that. Now, this is Marine Factory, guys, on double gas. Hello? I think it's a Marine reactor. Yeah, he's going to go straight reactor. No pulling off gas yet, guys. It's a one base all in. He's going to go for a Cyclone immediately and then a tank. Starport. Is this... I saw, like, Percival do this last week. I think. Doesn't have to be a one base all in, but... It looks like it. It looks like a 1-1-1 all-in. Hero has not scouted, which you might think is bad. On the other hand, guys, his opening is so greedy. He's going to have so much money to work with. Early greed actually helps you shut these pushes down, as long as you do, at some point, figure out what is going on. Starport goes down, Tech Lab goes down. Yeah, he's going to be 2 Marines, Cyclone, Medevac, and then a Liberator. This is a really powerful push. Sentry does come out after Stalker. Battery goes up on the natural. You see, in this case, I understand the battery a little bit more because he's gone for the no scout build, right? This is what I'm talking about. So he doesn't know what he's up against. It could be double gas, but he built the battery last game. That's why I was a bit confused about it. Just kind of, I'm trying to figure out the format of Hero's battery logic. That's all, guys. It's going to be very confusing because Hero does kind of just have his own rhythm, his own weird style. And man, Gumiho. What do you guys think he brings 4 SCVs with the siege tank when it comes out? It's this Cyclone needs to kill this, but I don't think it's going to be able to. If you can stop him seeing the expansion, maybe. But I mean, even the Cyclone timing is such a big tell. And Hero sees no expansion. Cyclone and Marines do shut down the Phoenix, but only after it sees what's going on. He cancels Blink, starts charge. This is exactly what Classic did on this exact same map against Gumiho. Oh, he's going to go 4-gate charge. I mean, that's the counter. That's the hard counter strat to any sort of unupgraded Marine push. Honestly, you should go 6 gates as well. He even builds a battery inside his main base. He's going to build another pylon on the front. Semi-walling. Why would you wall off here, guys? Doesn't that make it worse for you? Because you know this is going to be a siege tank push. Wouldn't you want to leave this as open as possible? That would be the logic that I would think be standard. Liberator's on the way. Siege tank number 1 comes out. Number 2 will queue up when he hits 125 gas in a few moments. Gumiho, 125 gas. Does he queue the siege tank? He hasn't queued the siege tank. There we go. Queues it 1 second late. Only 1 second, which is very impressive. It's very tight. This is really well done. All right, Stalker's getting focused down. Oh, non-blink Stalkers actually threaten the medevac so quickly, and he can only save 3 Marines. Oh no, Gumiho getting shot down. He does take out a battery on the natural, or does he? Oh my god, 1 battery heals the other battery. Oh no, he's already lost 4 Marines, man. That's really costly. That's very costly. It's not over by any means, but with charge finishing, it is. It is. Hero shuts this down. He's still building batteries, which doesn't make sense with Zealots, guys. Zealots, you just need more gateways and more Zealots. I've criticized Hero for this so much over the last 2 weeks. You just need more Zealots. Batteries only help the Stalkers, but because you're fighting siege tanks here and Liberators, you need to be able to overwhelm. So the batteries are actually not really going to help at all. But I do think charge should be enough to deal with this. Zealot Stalker coming forward. Gumiho in big trouble right now. He's trying to start a step back. The Lib getting taken down by the Stalkers on the high ground. The Marines getting overrun by the Zealots. And that is a good enough hold. 4-gate Zealot will make it happen. As I said, guys, the shield batteries make no sense with this defense, right? Hero is playing fantastically well. I don't want to insert myself too much into this commentary, but I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts. Do you agree that Hero's shield battery timings make no sense and are the worst part of his PvT? Let me know in the comments. I really want to know if there's an argument, because I feel like he builds them at the most nonsense timings. We were talking about it yesterday as well in the previous round. But let me know your arguments. Maybe I am wrong in some way. All right, guys, going to the next one. Chat's pointed out, we had a little discussion with chat, and they're like, well, you know, it's a 1-base all-in. Extra insurance always seems good. I do believe more gateways is extra insurance. On the other hand, it takes too long for a gateway to kick in. 46 seconds for a gateway to finish. I think it's 7 seconds to transform into a warp gate. Then you got to warp in, which takes 4 seconds. That's almost a minute, basically, from investing in the gateway to getting a Zealot out of it. Shield battery only takes 30 seconds. So even if it's, like, super minimal building a few shield batteries, you know, there are situations where it'll help, especially like probes fighting the last few Marines from their push or something like that. Doesn't help much against tanks or libs, usually, or when Zealots are trying to break his position. But yeah, no, I think I think the final batteries being added during the fight, it's like if you just need something to spend money on that's going to kick in very quickly, that makes sense. So good call. Now, obviously, I really think Gumiho there. You might think, why did he do that? 1-base all-ins don't work. Hero has not been spamming that many hallucinated Phoenix, right? And when he does, it's usually every 2nd or 3rd game. So for him to do it 2 games in a row, I think Gumiho's like, damn it. Like, I think he really basically rolled the dice saying, Hero is not going to scout with an early Phoenix this game. It might be a Stargate, something like that. I'll deny it with the Cyclone. He won't know what's happening. And then this attack's really scary. Because he knew what was happening so early, like even if Hero went for his 3rd gateway unit as a sentry rather than 2nd, that could work because he doesn't get charge up in time. So it's a very different scenario. And I think this is very clever from Hero because he says, look, we're playing GSL. Gumiho's a trickster. And absolutely, the more information I have, the more I'm going to be able to not be surprised by his attack. So this is a really good example, I think, of Hero just having a very good ability to adjust his play to his opponent's habits and really deal with that. Pylon does go down. It's final day of GSL for those tuning in live onto my stream. Obviously, this was played about 12 hours ago. We cast these the next day every day, and we're starting from the very start. So it's semi-final Gumiho Hero, then we've got semi-final Classic Cure, and then the winner of both of these matches will face off exactly the same way it's done in GSL. So this is not the grand final itself, but it is the finals day. Semi-final, semi-final, final. 2 best-of-5s into a best-of-7. If Hero wins this, he is going to speedrun it. And I did say yesterday, hey guys, we had a bit of a quicker day the day before in GSL. Yesterday was a bit of a longer one, or at least a decently length one. Some short games, some long games. I said, hey, tomorrow, semis and finals, it's going to be a long game. And then I stopped and I said, wait, they don't do best of 7 semis in GSL at the moment. It's still best of 5. And then I looked and I went, Hero, Gumiho have crazy knife fight games. I was like, oh, this series could be over in half an hour. I said this at the end of my stream yesterday when I was thinking about this matchup. I was like, damn, that could be quick. And I was like, okay, Classic Cure could be a much longer game. But also, if it's Hero Classic or Hero Cure is favored for the finals, those could also be pretty freaking quick matches. So I was like, oh, this might... I'm hoping it's not a speedrun finals day. Like, I'm really hoping Gumiho can win a map here, then win another map, you know, get us to game 4 or game 5 and try to stretch this series out a little bit, as well as just put the pressure on Hero and make him show some other stuff. And he is really just spamming hallucinating. It's the best opening right now. It's such a good opening, and you know, I really, you know, it's hilarious that so many people have told me, no, it's better to just go Twilight Blink. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, if your opponents are super predictable and just playing economic every game, maybe it's good to like mix and match. But against a guy like Gumiho, who's a trickster, who's always mixing in cute timings, this is so clever. He's going Magfield! He's going Magfield Cyclone push, guys! But he doesn't have any money to build another Cyclone, and the next hallucination is so early. Who scouts a second time this early? He sees it! But he's not even putting a second Cyclone. This seems like a bad build. Is this a fake? Is he faking him out? I feel like Gumiho is doing a mind game here, guys. But no, he has a third gas. He's like legitimately playing mech here, right? Or is it just... Yeah, he's actually committing to Magfield, Cyclone, and Banshee, I think. Maybe a Raven? Oh my gosh, a Raven or Banshee? Raven or Banshee. Drop's about to go in. Don't know which one we're going to go. We'll see it on the production tab in a moment. Drop is sneaking into the main base. Stalkers are moving out. Blink's still a minute away. Could get a few of these probes, but the battery in the main is really helping out. Gumiho's been so good at sneaking these attacks in. Looks like he's going to be able to kill only one probe. Probes disappearing into the gas makes that always so tricky. Raven, it is Raven, guys. Does he go Interference Matrix as well? Surely not. That would be crazy. It would be crazy if you clicked Interference Matrix right now. Oh, he's got... Cloak? He's going Cyclone, Raven into Cloaked Banshee. Ladies and gentlemen, are we drunk right now? Is he just going to snipe observers and try to let Banshees win this game? He's on 4 gas on 2 base. Oh my lord. Gumiho, I don't know what you're doing, but I like it. It's making me very happy in my pants region, okay? I think he's just going to try and snipe observers at some point, or the Banshee's going to come in as a surprise. No, now Hero on the other hand, he's going Observer. He's on 3 gateways. He's got Sentry, Stalker. An energy recharge on a Sentry would be really nice, but you can't do that at a Nexus until it's finished building. So I'd love to see him send a Sentry back to refill energy over here, as he can't force field that ramp right now. He's only got... Oh, no, he's got 2 force fields now. He could do it. The Cyclones are there. Cyclone, Marine, Raven hanging out. Gumiho, though, not pushing just yet. 2 more factories on the way. He's going to go mech here. He says, okay, this is getting tricky. I need to do something a little bit special. Marine does get sniped by Hero. Gumiho hanging out in the middle of the map. The 3 Cyclones really getting some nice forwards pressure. And because now he needs to save energy for force fields, can't really be hallucinating, which means it's really hard to confirm as Hero, because he saw what he thought was Raven Matrix. So he's like, oh, you're going to try to lock down my Immortals and Colossus and Disruptors. Oh, I need to go like feedback to deal with your Raven. Little did he realize it's going to be Banshee harass, but he's got a good observer positioned on the left. And look at this. Phoenix tries to come through, but that's going to get shut down. Banshee flies in on the left side. Not going to do anything. Oh! That observer didn't actually pull back there. Now Hero does, and he tags it. Says, you follow. The pervert follows the pervert. Armory's on the way right now for Gumiho as well. Blue Flame coming in to deal with charge. Dude, what a weird push this is. But it doesn't... I mean... Is it good? It's a full battle mech army against Protoss. Now, keep in mind, the Cyclone does have reduced cooldown in this version. An inadvertent side effect of the last patch. Many people calling it a bug. Essentially, it seems to have been a misdeployment of the patch. Somehow a number got changed without it meaning to. No one really seems to know why. Maybe something to do with the times changing or something. I don't know exactly. Anyway, Marine Hellion Cyclone there in the middle of the map. Hero's getting a 4th Storm. He's so safe. I feel like he's kind of not shut this down, but he's not let Gumiho get any damage. Gumiho's 3rd is so late, and it's essentially a protracted 2 base all in for Gumiho. Banshees will sneak over. Get a bit of damage, but not really killing a Stalker, just damaging them, which is not that important. And going up to 7 gateways now is Hero. So Hero's got, you can see, two gates in the natural, 5 in the main. It's not a massive gateway count, but it's pretty decent. It's a Marine cleaned up there. Phoenix comes forward, sees this bizarre Cyclone Hellion Banshee army. Got vehicle weapons coming in. Drilling Claws. He's going to add... Widowmine's a very good unit with this sort of fast-moving army. The Widowmine splash is, of course, so deadly. But Psystorm's now done. Psystorm, feedback on the Banshee. Raven could be good. Storm and Cyclone Hellion is one of the best ways to deal with it, as it zones them out very nicely. Sentry does get focused down by the Cyclone. Banshee's coming forward. He's going to focus the High Templar. He comes forward. Where's the Observer? Where's the Stalkers? The Stalkers went to flank. All the High Templar get focused. Oh, big oversight by Hero. He leaves his High Templar undefended. They get sniped. Gumiho sees the opening and he dives. The Banshees are doing so much damage. Where are the Observers, mate? Where are the Stalkers and Observers? They need to get rid of these Banshees. Banshees are one of the highest damage units in the game, and Observer finally does arrive. A few more auto turrets do go down. That 4th base of Hero getting jumped on. Damn, Hero underestimating the Banshee mech. What the hell, man? Gumiho getting in here with a sick build. Raven up front still. Hellbat Marine Cyclone buffering out this army. There's no splash damage for Hero. A Storm or 2 on this army would absolutely obliterate it, but instead he's fighting with probes. He's blinking into the Hellbat Cyclone Banshee. The Mad Dog trying to raw dog this army right now. But hot medevac pickup, Micro trying to make the best of it. Cyclone gets a few kills. Banshee's going to go down. At the end of all that, unit's lost. It's slightly in favor of Gumiho, but you can see pretty much even. 3 probes and a 4th Nexus went down. Gumiho's 3rd only now turning into an orbital. He doesn't have a 4th started. There we go. He's going to start one in the main. Vehicle plating goes down. I feel like these sort of fights usually favor Protoss because they can reproduce much quicker than a mech player. On the other hand, this is battle mech. It does rebuild pretty fast. But like if Hero can get these 2 Nexi back up and mining, it just feels like his expansion rate, his economic growth, his flexibility in terms of how quickly he can invest this way or that is going to give him momentum. So if he can just maintain map control, it doesn't need to trade. Just you know, keep Gumiho pinned on 3 bases for a little bit. It does feel like he'll probably run away with this game. 2nd, Robo on the way as well. Double Immortal production. Immortal Storm, one of my favorite ways to deal with these different mech compositions. Widowmines are here. Gumiho does not have a Raven right now. He's just scanning to deal with the Observers. And we said this earlier. Is he just going to keep trying to snipe Observers? He's got a Banshee going for a little counter down the south. There is a bit of long-distance mining, but he can go over here. 3rd base doesn't actually have a battery in the mineral line. It's a bit far north, so the Banshee could get really good damage down here. And he's going to grab some of these probes. Nicely done. Northern base does get scanned. He doesn't realize the middle one's there, Gumiho, so he thinks, oh, you're not quite up on 4 base yet, but it's about to jump from 3 to 5 bases. Another push down south. Widowmine, Hellbat, Cyclone. It is a full battle mech push, ladies and gentlemen. This is the most mobile form of mech. 5 factories down, 2 more building. 4th command center is finished in the main base for Gumiho. He'll be able to float that out. If he can deny this 4th one more time, it's going to be big, but the Storm Drop comes in. Oh, the Prism does go a bit far forward. It does die to the Widowmines. The High Templar go a little bit far forward. The Widowmines get some really good splashies there, but there is still an energy recharge available. He could warp in a High Templar, run it over here, fill it up, but right now there's no pylon, there's no warp in point on this base. Nonetheless, a very good defense for Gumiho. Banshee comes in from this side, grabs himself 3 more probes, but he's going to lose that to the Stalker. Gumiho's multitasking, not quite there. Hero keeping pace with him and starting to push him back now. A few of these Hellbats will get caught on the way home. 4th command center is going to float down south. He's going to try and take that full base. Oh, he blinks forward, gets a medevac and a Cyclone. He does lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Stalkers for it, though. You got to be careful. Blinking into Cyclones can be costly. Hero right now chasing into Magfield Cyclones. Hellbats doing really well against these Zealots, but the Archon adding some good splash damage on them as well. Dude, the Magfield, though, the Observer's going down and Stalkers. You can see the power running away from Magfield Cyclones. Oh, it is so hard to run away from this, man. It's like those guys who've done crime and they're in a police chase and you're seeing them, they get out of the car and they're jumping over fences, they hide in someone's dog, the dog's kennel out back of the house, they do all this stuff, but you realize, dude, there's a helicopter watching you with literal thermal camera. Like, you cannot escape. That is trying to run away from the Magfield Cyclones. They will not let you leave. Hero finally manages to disengage, but so many units went down. That was actually a really cool, scrappy series of engagements. But look at the units lost. 2,500 more efficient for Gumiho. He needed that because his 4th base is just coming up, whereas Protoss jumped to 5 base during that, and now with a 6th base on the left side as well. So that's actually really big. If Hero transfers workers, which he's just half mined out here. Perfect worker transfer timing. Very rare for Hero to hit that. He's taking a lot of gases as well. He could do really well. How many gateways does he have? Only 9. Ooh, normally you want to have mass gateways, so you've got the flexibility with the warp-ins, but Banshees continuing to be annoying. Mass Zealot run by up north. No defense on this base. How many reactors are there, guys? 1, 2, 3. 3 reacted factories, 4 tech labs. So you can build a big, massive Hellion Cyclone and mine all at the same time. But oh, he's a bit out of position. Those SCVs do react pretty quickly, thankfully for him. 3 Zealots try to take out a Cyclone, not able to. Just gets 2 SCVs for a Zealot. Dude, what a cool game. Now, like I said, I think Storm is really vital to zone these armies out, but you do need a lot of it, and you got to be careful because the top mech players will run forward and snipe those High Templar. He also doesn't have prism speed or anything like that either, and the Banshees also are another thing. So Hero needs the Stalkers, the feedbacks, the Storms. Like you need this combination to defend the front against these mobile armies, and he's got High Templar from the south, but only 1. Can he land the Storms? There we go! Big Storm does land. There's a lot of this kind of zoning storms that you've got to use, though. Beautiful spreadies from Gumiho, and Gumiho is going to get that arc on there. Does he get these Immortals? That's a juicy pickoff if he can get him. Zealot's going to try to run forward. Good spreadies. Blinkstalker's coming to the ambush from behind. They actually get locked onto pretty hard, though, and the Cyclone Banshee does maintain control of the middle of the map. No vision. He doesn't have any detection. Oh my gosh, it means the Widow Mines are going to just recharge. You need to get rid of these Widow Mines as Hero right now. It's tempting to even go Colossus here. You need some ranged firepower against this. Normally, I hate Colossus against mech, but you might want it here. He's going to try and go for it. It's a very basic army. Where are the High Templar? Hero has not been replenishing his High Templar. He's going Gateway Man with a few Immortals mixed in. He's gone back to Pleb Protoss. It feels like the aggression from Gumiho is pushing Hero into such a frantic position. He's trying to just do it with numbers. Hellbats are going to morph. They're very good against the Zealots. The Banshee Cyclone damage output is out of this world. So much Cyclone damage. Those Immortals on the top side are getting wrecked as well. Dude, these Immortals getting taken out by the rally. The Cyclone Hellbat doing really well. And it's actually a resounding victory for Gumiho with Battle Mech against Hero. Wow, Hero tried to do it with Gateway Man. He's only got 8 gateways as well. And Gumiho's got a 5th base coming up behind this. Shuts down the 4th. Clears some of these pylons and batteries out as well. And he's on 1-2 upgrades with +3 armor coming in. 2-2 not quite done for Hero either. Playing Gateway Man while out upgraded. Definitely not efficient enough for Hero. And Gumiho's movement, his dodges on the storms, his like just spreading back, morphing Hellbats when needed, standing his ground with the Cyclone Banshee as well at the right time. And look at that, locks on from the low ground, 6 more probes go down. The income of Hero is hurting. Gumiho has actually got the income lead while having the better army. We know it's the better army because he's up 8,000 in the resources lost. And there are 2 High Templar, but only 2. And I really feel like Storm is such a good zoning tool against this, but it's one of those things that does not stop it on its own. It just zones it, slows it down, and supports your other units. And usually, you know, you look at very immortal heavy armies, plus Storm is one of the best ways to deal with this, but this has mostly been Zealot Storm. He does have 5 Immortals now, actually. 5 Immortals coming in. They've got 2-2 upgrades as well. They wreck these Cyclones when they can land hits on them, but the Widow Mines are so good. The way he keeps rallying Widow Mines in with this spread is just beautiful, and look at that. Another lock-on from the low ground. A bunch of Banshees go down. Cyclone getting locked on and will get picked off by that mag-failed Cyclone as well. Does another manual lock-on, and the cannon gets sniped from the low ground. Probe goes north, takes a Nexus up there. Stalker's in the middle of the map, man. You gotta be careful. These guys are fragile. Hero. Oh my god, he can't even blink away from that. It's too late. He can't even blink out of range. Oh my lord. He's in town, man. He's in town. Gumiho is giving him a complimentary tour of Terran D-Town, and Hero is not liking it at all. Very nice game for Gumiho. Brings out a meme strat, we could call it. Plays it excellently. He had such a slow third base. I was so worried for him. I was like, dude, you can't win with a third base. Look at this. Look at this third base timing, guys. He starts his third at almost 7 minutes against the 63 Pro Protoss. He gets Storm and everything and Immortal production. I really thought he was screwed here. All right, guys. Gumiho, please do it again. Do it again. Dude, if he does it again and Hero can't stop it, I would laugh so hard. I would be like, dude, this is this is crazy. No, obviously, like the sniping the High Templar with the Banshees, Hero mismanaged his observers a few times. I do also think once you see someone playing Battle Mech like that, you actually have to go Stargate. And the reason is, if you get an Oracle and a Phoenix, you can just shut down Banshees anywhere there are. The problem for Hero is he's never struggled to beat the Ruffs and the Villos and these friggin', you know, these 369 IQ NA ladder players over the years who just spam mech against Protoss, bashing their head against a wall, trying to make something work that will never work. But yeah, when you've played against enough Banshees, you really appreciate the power of having one Oracle, one Phoenix, or even a couple Phoenix if they build a lot, and just because you can tag the Banshees and just shoot them down so fast. You then also can tag their army. You can put stasis traps around the map with the Oracle, which is amazing against Battle Mech whenever there's no Raven out, which there often wasn't. The Raven did die in that game pretty early. So there's some cool things with that. But you got to protect your High Templar. You got to keep rebuilding your High Templar, and you got to keep that immortal count high. I do think Zealots are decent. I think Stalkers can be okay, but you've got to be very careful to not throw them away because they're just so fragile for how expensive they are. So I think Hero threw away far too many Stalkers in that last game. Didn't double down enough on the Immortal Storm. And of course, late game, you can go Skytoss as well. You can go Carrier's Tempest against that stuff, but I don't think you need to necessarily get there. But definitely that first push with the 3 High Templar got sniped was crucial. Now, this does look a bit more like a normal build for now. Barracks was hidden off to the right side. It is the new El Dorado, the new, Golden Wall, the new Blackburn. Well, it's the asymmetric map. It is torches. It's got the healing shrine on the left side. It's the ungirdled healing shrine, guys. This is the healing shrine that does not have a chastity belt. So you can put air units on it as well. Whereas on Persephone, the other map, there is the chastity belt blocking air units from healing. Twilight Council starts up over there. Stalker, Adept. So Stalker, Adept. Interesting. A little bit of pressure. I think a few Marines out front. Uh-oh. Well, with the Reaper, I think he's fine. Reaper will take care of the probe. He gets a bounce on the Stalker, but he's just going to back away. Oh, you're going to keep pushing the... Hero's so crazy. Hero's so crazy, man. He's like, I would like to lose this Stalker, please. And Gumiho's like, okay. Thanks. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. No, he does delay his reactor massively to have that many Marines out. So it's not like it's free. He's going to build a Cyclone next. If he stayed on the ledge, maybe. But oh no, the Reaper's going to go down now. Wasn't expecting another Stalker. You got to realize Hero has no chill, man. 3 Marines on the ramp will be able to defend. But the Stalker could focus the weak one. Oh, we accidentally attacked the unbuildable plate. Hero there just trying to make him panic a little bit. Dropping mules on the high ground. Okay. Second barracks is building also. We've got second gate, blink. Now Shade comes up. Oh, shizzle. Don't want to let that Adept in. But he does get out, and I think knowing the Cyclone's about to pop, Hero wisely backs away. He's gone 1 gate. No, 2 gate with the blink, and now the Robo. Adept Shade could commit there if he's worried about getting caught, but he's going to try and ambush the Cyclone in the bush. 2 Stalkers and Adept in the bush. Dangerous little ambush force. Nice move for Hero. Gumiho, though, is aware of the threat. Doesn't chase. Third gateway's there as well for Hero on 2 base. And the third... Oh, sorry, that's not a third barracks. It's a starport. So, yeah, Gumiho loves these 2 barracks starport builds. They're really... They hit a little sharper than some other builds. They also fall off a friggin' cliff a lot harder than other builds. And what you got to realize, guys, with these Gumiho builds, there's more Marines earlier, and you hit a more brutal timing, but your third barracks is so much later, your Marauder production is so much later. You pay a price for this. So just because he kills a few probes like he did in game 1, it doesn't mean it's he's winning this game. He's got to actually do either a fair bit of damage or not throw any of his units away, right? One or the other. Now, there's no third for Hero, and Hero is playing 3-gate blink. He's a bit more conservative, so... I think ideally for Gumiho, you realize, hey, he's got a lot of units. Let's just chill. Let's not overcommit. Now, he's going to break these decaying rocks with the Cyclone. Observer not aware of that. Just outside of vision to the left. Warp Prism. Into charge. And 2 base. And a 4th gas. Dude, Hero just playing so 2 base heavy. Is he just going to go Storm again, I think? I think Storm's very good against Gumiho. Oh, look at that, though. The Observer sees everything. Gumiho's aware. He's like, I know you spotted me. Ah, look at that. Stalkers will take out the Cyclone. Prism survives. And now you're stuck defending with your 2-1-1. You want to be attacking with this. You do not want to be defending. And there's no bunker, no tank. Oh, this is a huge commitment. 12 Stalkers off 3-gate. Hero, the one player who hits a 3-gate as if it's a 4-gate blink timing. So powerful. Stim's not quite ready. SCVs have to get pulled. He's got to take control of the high ground. That one Adept in the mineral line being an absolute annoyance down there. Tank's going to get down here soon. It does siege up. You got to protect it. You got to protect it. He doesn't want to stim his Marines because he knows the Stalkers will back off. Oh, the Adept. Oh, no, the Adept. The siege tank kills about 5 of his own SCVs. The Stalkers blink into a corner, and Gumiho, of course, wants to punish them for that, but the Zealots coming in and just going to tank too much. 18 SCVs have already gone down, and this might just be lights out right here, right now. 2 medevacs, very nice units, but as you can see, they don't add any oomph. They don't add any pizzazz to your bang bang. They heal you after the fighting, which is good if you're the one who's picking little skirmishes and healing up afterwards. But if the Protoss forces a big direct fight, the investment in the early start, but the double medevac doesn't help. Skipping the bunker, skipping the tank, super costly. Now, the Marine drop does come back. He's going to try and target the prison probably, because that's what Gumiho would like to do, but he can't get it, and the unit's lost tab 500 in the favor of Hero. Hero's third's on the way. He does go Robo Bay. Dude, he rushes 4 gas, and then he doesn't even... Yeah, and then I guess he's just banking to be ready for the transition. Hero's builds are so fascinating. I love it. It's just, he'll prioritize flexibility more than any other player. So many pro players, like, you know, everyone gets stuck. All the experienced players go, I got it. My build has to lead to a sharp point. There needs to be a very clear goal that I am heading towards. That is the purpose of this build. I want to have these units at this timing. Hero sometimes just adds a bit of extra gas and just keeps his options open, and he's like, I'll decide later. And that's not a flexibility that most high-level players have. Good medevac micro for Gumiho. Gets the Stalker for 1 Marine. Good trade. Unfortunately for him, he has to SCV pull now. He's completely all in. First Colossus will be out before he can get on the other side of the map. And these Stalkers are being what could only be described as an absolutely frustrating bag of D's. You might say, D's what? D's nuts! No, seriously though. Gumiho, he's got to go. He needs to get a good tank position. That Colossus timing is beautiful. Sentries filling up. He even fakes out a Colossus. He hallucinates a Colossus. Gumiho only up 5 army supply. Good ambush in the middle of the map. I do like that choice. But dude, the fact that charge is already done as well. I forgot that charge was already done. Every zealot he warps it is a problem as well. Libs, tanks, Marines. Gumiho setting up a good angle. He needs that perfect fight. Oh, only gets 1 Marine hit by the first Colossus shot. Lands a tank shot. Bunkers might be nice here as well. Oh, dude, I actually love the position. He's going to go for a turret. Interesting. The tanks. Dude, Gumiho's push is actually fearsome. This is sick. He had such a bad start to this game. Unfortunately for him, another Colossus is going to come out, and that one is also a problem. Oh, he tries to stand his ground. The Marines actually all survive, which is cool. He's going to unload those boys. He's going to get his tanks a bit further forward. If he takes ramp control, he can pivot left potentially, but watch out for the force fields. Oh, Hero with sick force fields. He could only save 8 of those Marines. He thought, hey, your Colossus are on the right side. This is an opening. Hero said, mate, there's only ever an opening if I plan for there to be an opening. And here we go. Marines are going to thrust into the Colossus, but oh my god, Colossus Prism Micro against Marine SCV. Oh no. Yeah, this is, look at the way Hero just so calmly microed on 2 sides, gets him overextended. Most of the Marines are already gone. The Stalkers are going to blink in, take out the Libs. The Zealots are already there on top of the rear guard. And what a beautiful, beautiful execution that was from Hero to finish off the semifinals. Gets through against Gumiho. Gumiho, a notable mention for winning with Battle Mech, gets style points. That's why we love Gumigod. But Hero, as expected, will go to the grand finals. All right, guys. It's semifinal number 2. Kira in the bottom left side here of the GSL. Classic in the top right. Classic is doing a Hero. He's sending one of his very first probes across. Now, where's he sent this boy? Because is this a proxy? Or is this actually a harassment scouting probe? I don't know where he's clicked in. I'm looking for the marker. That's why I have the probe selected right now. I know this isn't the greatest observing, but I'm just trying to get vision of where he's got. I think it's just a harassment / scouting probe. He's building a pylon at home. Gonna find out in a moment. Yeah, he's going into the base. He is going to the base. There we go. You can see the move command now. That's what I was looking for, that little green circle. And he's gonna block the barracks going down. Cure. Oh, Cure did not want to build the barracks further away like most people will, which means his Reaper or Marine will be quite delayed. But on the other hand, he doesn't then, after building the unit, have to float it over before building the reactor, which is fair enough. Classic blocking the gas right now. Okay, delayed the gas by maybe a second at most. I don't think it really affected anything as he didn't have money for it yet. But let's see if this disrupts him putting on gas, because sometimes players forget to put on gas after that early harassment. And yeah, he was like, you know, it was basically like a 1.5 second delay, because he actually let the first guy take priority. Whereas normally you want to tell this guy to go to the inside and then mine from there. But Q is like not optimized his gas mining. So the effect of this is he delayed his barracks about 4 or 5 seconds. His gases are like he's 10 gas behind. doesn't really do much, but it, of course, ensures that you're safe against any sort of proxy barracks or anything like that. Now, Classic, on a big map, and after delaying the barracks, is still going to go core before Nexus. Very safe play. Not taking any economic risks. I wouldn't have minded it. I would have liked to see a Nexus first. Nexus before core, especially if you're going for the wall off here. Feels like a Reaper just running straight into the main and trying to kill probes on this map is not a good move, and I don't think Cure will do it. So, like, you can see Cure's not even rallied across the map. So I would have liked Classic to try to get away with something, but I think he's going to be a bit more Adept pressure focused. I would imagine the second that core finishes, we Chrono and Adept shaded across the map, try to get both vision and potential damage. Reaper comes out, Reactor behind, Factory there. 2 workers on 1 gas, 1 on the other. And Classic has a pretty decent range of openings. Curious to see how he plays. It's funny because this map does look similar to Alcyone in some ways. And I always think about that time Classic was playing late game against Maru and then let his entire Skytoss army get nuked. I don't think we'll see that here. But I just was watching the clip of that the other day, and I remember it was like kind of over in this area of Alcyone, and dude, like the whole army just sat there. It was like, I think a bunch of carriers survived on Half-Life, but like all these Tempests and everything died. It was nasty. Don't think Classic's doing that though. That would be more of a Robo Phoenix Colossus opening most likely. Cure. Look at this juking around. Gets in, sees the Twilight. And he could even get out of here potentially. The Adept on the other side is going to find an SCV. Delaying the command center, not bad. But you got to run now. That Adept needs to get out. Can't fight those Marines with your shields already gone. Reaper is not getting any kills just yet, but he's going to rotate to the natural. This Adept will back away. And I'd say this looks like a winning interaction for Cure. I think losing an SCV is not the end of the world. Gets a probe for the Reaper, gets a full scout, knows the second gate is a little late. Behind this, Cloak. Oh, very early Cloak. Okay, wow. Because he knows there's no Robo started. So the Sentry needs to come out, instantly fill up with energy, hallucinate, and get that scout. Otherwise, these Banshees could be a real problem for him. Command Center is about to finish up. Second barracks on the way. No wall off against Blink Stalkers here. If he blinks up here, he could run into the main, but I guess you can cover this one. Not too difficult on this map. Tokamak's not like a 4-gate blink map or anything like that. Third barracks goes down. Tech Lab building on the factory. Getting ready to swap over to the bioproduction behind the Banshee. I think Q is going to, knowing that Classic's a bit more defensive, probably going to skip on the bunker, maybe even skip on the tank production. Thinks he can get away with it. Oh, he saw a Banshee. He saw it. Should have rallied the Banshee backwards there. Good Cyclone positioning to try to block it, but not enough. And we've got a Robo on the way. Battery does go down in the main mineral line, so a single Banshee can't do damage. And this is already a good setup for Classic. You just got to make sure you're not too slow to get to your third base when you're doing this sort of defense as Classic. Sometimes players are so focused on not taking Banshee damage that they actually just end up too late on building their third, and the Terran's fine anyway. But right now, you can see, remember, Q did a double gas opening. It's down at 11 workers, which is a disaster. Banshee cloaks super early, flies into that main. And, I mean, maybe he targets this yellow probe on the gas. Take 5 shots to kill that. It's not super smooth. He's just going to go hide in the dead space and decloak it, I think. He's like, all right, we'll just chill here, come back later. Knowing that Protoss can't really afford a Stargate on this build. 4 gas on 2 base. 2 more gateways. Oh, does Classic think there's an all-in coming? I mean, I guess there is 3 barracks and no tanks, so he gets to go straight into Stim Shield's medevacs. But it feels really late for a third base. Then again, he's had such an income advantage for so long. Does it matter? Do we get income graphs on this interface? No, we don't. I mean, Q has got mules, which make up for the less workers to a certain extent. Raven Cyclone looking for observers. These observers are both at home. One following the Banshee in the back, one on the left side. And there was only ever one Banshee, guys. Interesting. I guess after it got scouted, he just cancelled out and said, yeah, it's all fine. Templar Archives and 3 more gateways. Classic loving his Psystorm, isn't he? He's loving Psystorm and loving this really tech-heavy 2-base setup. You know, the third's a bit delayed, but he says that's fine. Terran players are so desperate to kill you at the moment in the meta. Just get the tech up ready, then you can expand up and get the economy a bit later. As long as you get that Storm up on time, and especially if you can get a High Templar to feed back your Raven, that'd be excellent. Already Storm's on the way. Uh-oh, Adept's going to be taking some damage. Does go down. Good little stimmy catch. Cyclone on the right side, Bio Army on the left. Marines a little far forward. Already 2 Marines going down. Classic's like, you better stim, mate. If you don't stim, I'm going to kill you guys. Concussive isn't ready yet, so it's really easy for Classic to kind of pick away at him. But Kua takes the high ground, chills out there for a minute. And as long as he stays on that ledge, it's going to be hard for Classic to at least pick away at his units. Forge does go down at 645. How many gateways is this? 6. 6-gate storm. Probing up the 3 bases. Charge, I believe, is finished. As is Blink. Kua has not started the 3rd command center. There we go. There we go. Starts it now. Catches a Stalker in the middle of the map. I like the way Q is threatening, and it almost feels like he's trying to prompt a Prism to fly in or something like this. Of course, we know there's no Prism in this game. Hard to afford a Prism when you had to build batteries and observers to deal with the droppy drops. The Banshee harass, I should say. Yeah, he's going to feed back. Oh! Banshee actually got aggroed for a second. Goes back to the corner, does hold position. Probe gets caught on this side. Q is really looking for efficiency right now. He's looking to scare Classic and look for efficiency. But that's a pretty big army. He needs to run. He's going to look for the pylon. He goes for the anti-armor missile. And he's actually going to fight here as long as the storm isn't ready. What? He's still attacking. The Zealots ran too far in front of the storm. Classic takes a bad fight. And Q realizes, hey, you already spent your Zealots into an anti-armor missile into my bio before the High Templar arrived. That was a huge mistake. I get to stand here and fight. That's actually an excellent engagement. Well played by Q, man. Stalkers do take out the Widowmine that was trying to retreat. The other one does get a Zealot kill. 3rd command center is almost finished. 4th and 5th barracks is up, and now Ghost Academy goes down. Q is very good at threatening without overcommitting. This is his best element. Is it always looks like he's committing to a pretty strong timing. Where other players stiffen up and go all in one way or the other, he stays flexible and he picks, just focus more on SCVs and macro because you seem ready for this. Or, you know what? You're not ready for this? I'm just going to go for it. Q is very good at dancing that fine line of Terran in your face, being aggressive, but you never know how committed he really is. There's a lot of Side Storm, though. Oh, gosh. At least 6 Side Storms. Could be 7 or 8 in here. I don't know how much energy is on the ones inside the Prism. And it's all about the spreadies right now. Q, he's got a good pre-spread. Doesn't have many Widow Mines. A few more Widow Mines. And these 2 Vikings. 2 Vikings coming in. He needs these Vikings on the front to deal with that Prism. The bio does come forward. Eats some Storms, though. I'd like to see a few more preemptive spreadies. Good spreadies here for Q. Vikings will take down the Prism, or at least push it away. Does storm his own units, trying to storm the Viking, which I guess is effective because it keeps the Prism alive. 1 storm left only. More Zealots warping in. The High Templar going to try to run away, but he picks into the Prism when it was still sieged up. Oh, Classic should not have picked up into that Prism. He'd be better off at morphing Archons. It would have at least allowed the Prism to get away. But he loses the High Templar and the Prism. And Cure with an excellent defensive setup. The Vikings coming. He's now got Ghosts out as well. I mean, that was a pre-Ghost timing. Classic was like, let's get him before he gets Ghosts while I have +1. Well, guess what? Now he's got Ghosts as well. He wrecked you in the last fight. Classic has 72 workers, but his 4th is only now about to start mining. He's already trying to take a gas on that base. He's playing a very gas-heavy style. He needs to spread out his High Templar, and he needs these Colossus. 2nd Robo's on the way as well. So far down in the numbers. He keeps running in front of his High Templar. He does try to get the Ghost there, not able to get it. These High Templar need to spread, but they're way too clumped. Great storm to start. The EMP is not really landing there. The bio very damaged. Cure can't force this. His bio is too damaged. He actually needs to slow this down. It seems weird because the Protoss army is weak right now, but I think if Cure forces the fight, is so much damage on this bio, and he shoots his own Marauder down to red hit points. A bit of a misclick. I think with the Colossus and these big Zealot warpings, he's got to get out. He actually has to back off. Cure's still got a good army supply overall and all that sort of stuff, but it's a big Protoss army. He's going to try and stand his ground and fight. He's healed it a little bit. Careful engagements. He wants to go for a droppy in the main, triple drop. High Templar warps in. Fills it up with energy and drops some storms on that. These medevacs are so close to going down. Oh, yeah. It's predicted. And I think, Kua, sorry. Did I call him Gumiho? I was casting Gumiho just before. Kua does back away. Bio. Good call to pull away for Kua. Kua, does he have a 4th command center? No. He's building a 2nd eBay armory. He's thinking about more upgrades, but the upgrades are catching up for Protoss. I think Kua really wants to finish this very soon. And here we go. Big EMP's coming in. There's only 1 High Templar. It's on the left side. One of the medevacs has not unloaded. Widow Mines not quite landing on the Zealots. Finally, they do. That High Templar lands only a semi-storm, and it does get EMP'd. But, dude, the bio is heavily damaged. The Colossus doing really well. The Protoss unit count is getting low, though. Can the Marauders get rid of the Colossus? If not, then it's going to be good for Classic. But 1 Colossus goes down. Probes are pulled. Is this enough to hold on? It's such a close fight. The medevacs need to escape. for Cure. He can't be losing all the medevacs, but I think he's killed enough Stalkers. That's not really a problem. Those Ghosts almost rallying into the fight and getting themselves killed, but they are okay. Does he have enough units on this rally, though? The tail end of this could be nasty for him. Observer overhead. If he can get rid of that Observer, it'll be nice. Classic, though. He's maintained his 4th. He's still okay in Probe 68. He's got double Colossus building. He's about to go to 4 Colossus. And guess what? Where's the second starport, guys? Where is it? There's a barracks going down and a 4th command center, but this was super committed for Cure. Didn't find the kill move that he was looking for. Units lost tab, still 2,000 in his favor, but Classic finds the room to take a 5th, and I think Classic might be back in this game. Fantastic game 1 between these two. Very evenly matched. Dude, wouldn't it be crazy if... I'm just thinking, wouldn't it be crazy if Classic, like, smashes Cure 3-0 and beats Hero in the finals? Because he's beaten Hero a few times in PvP. I don't think it... I mean, that just seems... It just seems like something... I don't know. I remember, like, a few years ago, I was really hyping up Classic when he came back from the military, and I guess I kind of just lost hope of him winning. I figured, yeah, he's going to make top 8s, might make a top 4 here and there. But I stopped thinking of him as, like, a tournament-winning player just because it felt like he couldn't get all 3 matchups up to that top-tier level. But he's having such a good season right now, and I thought Cure had him on the ropes, and now it feels like such a close game that's tending in the Protoss favor, I would say, just due to the amount of map control Protoss has and how slow things like the 4th command center, 2nd starport are. It feels like Classic's got time to max out and go double upgrades here. +3, +1. He's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more gateways going down. Yeah, I mean, it feels like Classic's out of the woods now, and it's going to be more of a late game brawl. Now, don't get me wrong, Q is still a very good late game player. So he goes up to 8 barracks. He's got another reactor building. So he went 4 tech labs, only 1 reactor on the first barrack. So he says, oh, I probably need a few more Marines to help clear Zealots. He's actually not added add-ons on these last 2 barracks just yet. Probably just a mistake. Doesn't realize that they are finished. There's a lot going on at this stage in the game. So many upgrades to manage. Moving your army around. Make sure you don't get surprised by any cheeky storm drops. Oh, me. Oh, my. Classic. First storm, not a big fan of how that one landed, but he gets out with his speed prism, only gets 3 SCVs. Not a great storm drop there for Classic. Here we go, Sentry High Templar, EMP lands, 2 High Templar get hit by that. Oh gosh, does he not have any reserve High Templar? Oh, Q are catching him out of position. On the other hand, it's not that many Vikings, but this is a big army mispositioning mistake for Classic. He should have seen this army coming, and he shouldn't have had all of his High Templar clumped together there. So that costs him, loses the 5th Nexus, doesn't lose too much else. He's on 91 probes. I would argue 91 probes is far too many for this matchup. I think 85 you can go to temporarily, but you better, once you're maxed out, start build cannon battery insurance everywhere you can, because it's going to be rough. He's also not started +2 armor. I understand he's scared of the army. He's going to chase a little bit, but army supply-wise, Terran is ahead. 3-3 starting for Terran. Right now it's 2-2 against 2-1. And another Nexus goes up in the top left, as well as the 5th one on the right, rebuilding. Extra command centers coming up for Cure. Okay, army in the bottom right there, but Classic doesn't want to base trade. He's going to pull back. Nice EMP on a High Templar. Storm only lands on a few Ghosts. Nothing too crazy. More High Templar are coming forward. Pulls back. Stalker, High Templar trying to buy time. Cure realizing, look, the army's going to come from the right. I better go deal with that. Disruptors. Oh, my lord, Cure! Crazy attack here for Cure. Holy moly, Cure eats Classic's Disruptor shots to the chin. Is it worth it? He gets on top of the Colossus so quickly, it might be. Dude, he loses a lot of units. He kind of up front takes all the losses in that fight, then gets in and kills a lot of expensive units. The SCV is still alive on the 3rd base. Meanwhile, on the front, the landed Vikings Ghosts, are they able to get through the Zealot reinforced? They might be able to. Cure, landed Viking Marauder Ghost, 2-2 against 2 on upgrade advantage. He gets a bunch of the Stalkers as well. Is he actually going to overwhelm him? What a ballsy fight. Pun absolutely intended there. He may have to pick up and pull back now. Those Stalkers, they're going to get a full medevac. It had 2 Ghosts, a Marauder, and a landed Viking inside. Nice win there for Classic in that snipe. Now, Classic, he needs his probes down here. He's transferring them from... I don't know where he's transferring his probes from. The main base, by the looks of it. I don't know what they were doing in the main base. No minerals up there. He's got this base on the left fully mining as well. Big mineral advantage for him. Cure needs the base in the bottom right side up. Needs to gather his forces up. If he can deny another base and secure this one, I do think he wins this game. I would love to see more Zealot activity, counterattacks for Classic. I'd like to see more observers in front of his army scouting, because right now he's so blind, and this is what you really need to see where that Terran's coming from. It changes everything. He's very blind down here as well. Doesn't see if there's an army moving up this ramp until it hits this area. So he's going to move forward with his own army to scout. Can Kua defend this base? If he can, he's got +2 ship weapons on the way. He's building some libs as well. But his bio army right now, and the slow rally does seem a little small, but there we go. Okay, a lot more bio was just hiding off screen. Zealot, Stalker, Disruptor coming forward. He's going to try and repair this. Disruptors do go forward, landing on just 4 or 5 Marines. Nothing too crazy to start. And it looks like with the Planetary to back up his force, gets a few more Ghosts and Marines. Like, these are good shots, but they aren't going to end the game. Oh, those Storms, though. This forces Kua back. He's going to have to repair the Vikings, heal up the units. He's going to send a Liberator across the map as just anything to keep Classic busy. I don't know, can Classic bust this? He's looking for another good Disruptor or Storm target. I think there's no repair on the Planetary. Kua has to give it up. Oh, damn. Very good choice. I think you know, the army need to be in front of that Planetary, but those Storms that he chased into, a little too sloppy on the army management. That being said, Liberators are going to give him a chance to maybe get back in this. He's floating his main command center out. If he can drop mules on a new fresh base, it might save Kua here. He's still got a big army, but he's way down in workers. That massive worker count of Classic headbutting Zealots in sloppy engagement. 15 Zealots run into their death. Liberator up here doing good damage. The other one did not go down. He re-sieged it over here. Stalker will not outposition that. It's going to go down. Beautiful play here by Kua with these Liberators. I'm not saying this is hard to do, but I'm saying it is the perfect time to do it when both players are locked in a survival battle on the front. The other Liberator went down just above this base as well, but the army's here. If Kua can win this fight, he might be able to win this game. 6 Disruptors and a few High Templar coming forward. The Disruptors do land on just single Marauders. The second one doesn't land at all. The Storm completely whiffs, but the Bio army's damaged. The Vikings are heavily wounded. Ghosts are in the open. A couple Ghosts and Marauders get picked off by those Disruptors. There's still another Disruptor shot. Kua, the balls are empty. Now's his go time, but there's still Storms behind, and it's all about those high ground Storms for a Classic. Great size Storms for a Classic. But Kua's going to push in and take the base out. Is this a worthwhile trade? He lost a lot of Terran units, but he gets a Nexus, gets a few probes. I think it is. I think it's a good trade. Classic, he's got a lot of basic units in this army where he's not rebuilding High Templar. Oh no, the Classic Protoss mistake is in the heat of the battle, not rebuilding High Templar. He's got energy recharge. He has even 2 supply free. He needs to be remaking High Templar. Those Storms have been keeping him alive and competitive in this game. Zealot Stalker Disruptor is a good army, but High Templar are the most supply-efficient, damage, bang-for-buck unit you can get in the game. And when paired with Energy Recharge, they are a god-tier unit. He's going to try and outposition, dive the Planetary, and the Bio, is it there? The SCVs need to repair. Kua, he's going to repair. He will get there in time. Good movement. If he was able to snipe that, that would have been such pain for Kua. Disruptor does land on a Ghost and a Zealot. Worthwhile. We do not care about losing Zealots as Classic. Classic has been a rich boy. He's got the bottom right. Oh, that bottom right. Dude, Classic just out-expanding Kua here. Kua has to be so much more efficient. He's playing the cool, calm, controlled, efficient Terran style with a little bit less mobility. Meanwhile, Classic is like, I'm Rich Boy Protoss, and I'm going to be the richest Protoss of them all. Warps in another High Templar. He's still on 79 workers. Income tab, top left side, 3,500 minerals a minute to right now 3,300, which tells us Mules are doing a very good job to keep Kua alive in this game, but they are not permanent income. Over time, Classic's going to mine a lot more than him. Disruptor's landing on a few of these Vikings. Disruptor on the top left, barely dodged at the last second. The Disruptor's trying to cover the retreat. They are landing a little bit, but no big Disruptors just yet. Stims continue to come in. Big zoning storm. Lovely zoning storm. That's what we were saying. You need to keep making these High Templar because they cover your retreat so well, and they punish a Terran who tries to pig-headedly push his way in. Nice snipes on the High Templar, though. Kua says, hey, you retreated to the right. I will shove left. It's exactly the correct call. Can take out the gold and move up, but there's 2 ambush Raptors up there. He splits some bio. He's got to watch out for the balls. The balls are coming forward. Classic. Wreak havoc. Cry havoc and let loose the balls of war. He's going Shakespearean on his ass right now. The balls not quite landing, but they do force Kua to cower and take cover. +3 ship weapons is on the way. The Disruptors on the left side are caught in the open. Neither side watching this. They are so focused on the main army. Kua realizes first, and we'll take out those as well as find some more Nexi up there. But the bottom right base goes down. He's been out-positioned, and Classic playing a nasty style of out-positioning StarCraft. This is how Hearthstone likes to play it with the Zealot Stalker Disruptor. It's a very good style. If you ever catch the Terran one step behind, you just snipe bases and move to the next one. And an EMP to stop him from recalling. But it's so many base snipes. And you'd think Classic is losing if you didn't know about this top bottom right. But guess what? Kua doesn't know about it. Kua's going to deny the top left as well and think, oh, look at this value I'm getting. This is amazing. He's going to probably EMP that one as well, potentially. Won't even bother this time. Zealot run by. Uh-oh. This is going to force Kua's multitasking. Look at that. The Zealots charge in with 3, 2, 1 upgrades, getting some good damage. The 3-3 bio will come back to defend. Command center's up here, almost gets caught out. If he loses this command center, it's so bad. He needs to keep this alive. Kua, he's got a lot of units down here. I would say too many on the bottom right. This is more of a defensive action in the north, but without siege units, no range libs, no tanks, it's hard to hold off. But actually, there's no zealots. Disruptor, he's going to die for the Disruptors. He's going to die for the Disruptors. Kua YOLOs it, eats some Disruptors to the chin, dodges some other ones. I think it's an excellent move. He loses his command center. Classic says, haha, got your nose. Classic thinking he got the economy snipe, and he did. Kua's economy is in tatters, but Kua's like, mate, you may have got my nose. I just ripped your bloody head off. Your entire army just disappeared. He's got a bio army in the bottom right as well. He says, I got your nose, and I got your neck, and I chopped you in half, mate. That was not worth it for Classic at all. He lost way too many units. No High Templar backing up his army to cover him when the Terran jumps on top. You always need reserve High Templar behind your army with the Storm. He's been doing such a good job of it all game. They were keeping him ahead, and at some point, the adrenaline has got to Classic. He's stiffened up in his play. He's got a bit too tense. He's, for the most part, stopped making High Templar, and that's a really big problem for him. He's going to try and isolate the army in the bottom right. That's an excellent move. Oh, could this get Classic out of trouble? This might be able to get Classic out of trouble. Good move. Kua's trying to trade as good as he can, but man, he's like damaging Zealots. He's not really killing that many, and that is a massacre. But Kua's going to kill one of the last really effective mining bases. The problem is he cornering his army? Kua's cornering his own army again! Oh no! Disruptor Zealot comes in. The Disruptor is not really landing in the biggest way. One of them did land well. The other one didn't land at all as the Disruptor got focused down. The Bio trying to pull back. EMPs on the Stalkers. The Bio's going to get overrun, I think. Maybe. Maybe not. He's still got a ball of Bio. The Zealots did not have +3 armor this game, remember. And the Bio just enough with the Medivacs, I think, to maybe defend. It's so close. The Stalker's overwhelming. The Stalker's overwhelming. More Zealots come in. No, it's not enough for Kua. Classic able to overwhelm. I don't know if that matters, though, because he already lost his entire income. And you got to realize that Kua is still mining behind this with mules off of 3 orbitals. He's also got 45 SCVs. So as long as Kua defends the counterattack, Classic has essentially no income. He's got a few minerals and a gas there. That's about it. So I think, yeah, just that 14,000 resource loss, more efficient trading. And Classic just needed to always have 6 to 8 supply dedicated towards High Templar. Just that little bit of supply dedicated towards High Templar. If the moment you let it up in the pace of a really fast, high-paced pro StarCraft match, that's when the Terran can chase you down, jump on top of your Disruptors and Stalkers, and all those expensive units can disappear so very quickly. You know, it's one of these things where we always hear Terran players complain about Protoss just gets the whole map and gets to do whatever they want. We hear Protoss players complain about how Terran units are so efficient and they just drop mules to get out of trouble. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to asymmetric advantages and asymmetric game design. Kua has less of the map. He can't control the map. He can't deal with the pace of the Protoss army as well. But he does have a very fierce, sharp army that has extreme mobility. And if you do not have something to counteract that, then you can end up in massive, massive trouble. And that's exactly what happened in that top right of the map when he sniped the command center but lost his entire army for it. I mean, that fight there, if he had some High Templar behind, I think it would be a very different story. But without having those High Templar behind in the top left, that was really too costly. Yeah, it was this army. Because this is a very small army, guys. This is 12, 15. So, guys, this was just 15 Stalkers and 7 plus 3, 10 Disruptors. 10 Disruptors and 15 Stalkers. That's basically undefended Disruptors. I mean, this is Classic's biggest mistake in the game. And he really needed more Zealots, more High Templar there. His work account, I think, is still way too high at this stage of the game. And pushing in like this with no observers in front of his army, I think was a big mistake. I think in these sorts of games, you also want to have at least 3 observers out at all times. Because if he realized how much army was on this side of the map, he would absolutely have been hightailing it back to defend this Nexus and get back behind a choke point. This was just a huge mistake for Classic. Too many Disruptors as well. 40 supply and Disruptors, I think we would argue, is just a bit too much supply. His Mass Zealot is just forgotten up here. And this is the moment where just the pace of the game got to Classic. He saw the command center. He knew this was like so important for Kua's economy. And if he got it, it would be crucial. But he didn't protect himself at the same time and forgot to wear his box, loses 10 Disruptors, loses 15 Stalkers, or most of, he loses like 10 Stalkers, a bunch of Zealots, 10 Disruptors, and then loses his bottom right at the same time. And it's just a disastrous swing in Kua's favor after Classic had built some excellent advantages. GG, well played though. What an epic game 1. All right, guys, going into game 2, Kua, the man who never wins a TVP in a simple fashion. He's so often when he's in these big matches, you're like, oh God, he's losing. And then he always brings it back with that sick play. He's so cool under pressure, and Classic's got to be a little bit annoyed about it, but I think the idea of diving around with a Stalker Zealot Disruptor army is good. I think in theory, 9 Disruptors is the absolute max you'd go to, but even that, you got to be really careful because it's a little iffy. And I think you got to keep them spread a little bit. And like I said, you just have to have those layered High Templar. They did, like, if you look at all the fights for the first 15 minutes of that last game, right? How many times did Cure, like, the Disruptors are gone, Cure pushes forward, eats big storms, Classic's coming out on top, big picture-wise, if not in individual fights, because he's killing more bases, taking more bases. And it's just one of those things where I do think that's big. And we've seen this happen to so many Protoss players where they just think, oh man, I'm not able to kill Terran, I can't let him get to range libs, I've got to deny these bases, I've got to start thrusting in, and they just focus on the Zealot Stalker Disruptor. But I mean, Zealot Stalker Disruptor cannot compete with a well-microed late-game Terran army on its own. It can dive, snipe a base, zone the Terran for a little bit, and escape, usually. But if you overstep at all and you don't have High Templar insurance, you're in huge trouble. So definitely cost him that game. It's going to be a double gas, double Reaper into Factory, and pulling off gas here. Probe did, of course, scout this. Saw that there was 2 gases mining. And there's going to be a Nexus after Cybercore. Zealot into Adept. Okay. Warp Gate starts up. Forgot his Warp Gate, guys. It's a 30-second delay on that. No tech going down just yet. Reaper's going to run in, but the Adept is here. Second Adept gets chronoed as well. He wants to shade this across. Classic is going to shade this out. Yeah. Because with the chrono in the second one, it should be here in time. He might feel like he has to cancel this. Yeah, Q is like, dude, if you commit, I'm running in. So the probe has to run away. Then the Reaper actually turns away. Second Reaper at home with a Hellion. Yeah, this is not good for Classic. Oh, you don't want to take any hits from that Zealot, though. Q does take 1 hit on the SCV, which means it's 2 hits to the Adept to finish it off. Reaper comes back. Adept does land a hit on it, but only 1. I think this is really good micro by Cure. Cure's handling things very well. You know, Cure Hero could be a banger finals. I think Classic Hero could be as well, to be fair. Hero has been a shoe-in to win the entire thing. But Hero's kind of guy who, when everyone least expects it, does amazingly well. When everyone expects him to do well, maybe not. But right now, both of these guys obviously just have to focus on who's in front of them. Hellion Reaper do take out an Adept for a Reaper. I think that's a perfectly fine trade for Terran. They do cost the same total. Well, I mean, the Adept costs 25 more total resources, but the Reaper's 50 gas, and gas is usually weighted a little bit heavier. Depending on the situation, of course. It's not like there's like an even, oh, gas is always worth twice as much as minerals. There's a lot of times where minerals is worth more than gas in a specific moment, but then a few minutes later, the gas ends up being worth a lot more. Kind of pivots this way and that. Full wall off, always really good to just stop him getting in. And this is going to be a 3-gate. Is it 3-gate? Yeah, I mean, he'll cancel the 4th gate in the wall before it finishes, I believe. Single Widow Mine, a few Reapers and a Hellion. Behind this third, Barracks is already started. I love the follow-up. I feel like Q is feinting forward aggression. F-E-I-N-T, for anyone who's not familiar with that word. Blink's not going to be ready for a while. Drops the Hellions. Does drop the Widow Mine, which should allow him to get the Reaper Hellion out of here. Oh, nice move. Hey, big pickup. Gets the Sentry. It's 100 gas down. Very nice. Classic. Does not want to be taking this damage. That Reddit Point Hellion, though, I think is, yeah, it gets focused. Sacrifices Hellion for another probe. Arguably not worth it. Widow Mine does finally go down in the natural as well. But I think these are units that he doesn't mind losing Cure. It's just he wants to keep the Stalkers at home because he's skipping a bunker. He is building tanks now. You guys think he skips the bunker for the whole game? He might. Classic's a pretty defensive guy. You see 3 Stalkers here. I mean, he's spread them out, so only one's in vision. Q is up a game in a best of 5. He feels confident enough to skip the bunker, and that's always really nice if you've got that level of confidence. Oh, it's a Gumiho push. Guys, it's a Gumiho push. He's not even waiting. He's gone Starport, single medevac production, and he's building 5 Marines at a time. He's going to do a 2 siege tank push with Stim Marines. He is not going to wait for combat shields. Wow, 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 wow. He's cut SCVs here as well. You know, he's only building 1 SCV. Now he adds another one, but he's focusing on Marines and tanks as the priority. Very committed aggression. Now, if he could sneak Marines out behind these Stalkers, stim in from behind them, and catch the Stalkers outside the base would be huge. But there is going to be Storm. It's going to be 2-base Storm once again, which is pretty good against this. Once Storm kicks in, Marines and tanks moving out. Scan the Observer, maybe? Might not have scans available. SCV pool's coming. He's going. He's going. It's the double reactor Gumiho build, guys. It's a really good build. It hits like a brick. Zealot's not going to do much against the massive rally of Marines. 5 at a time are there. Hellion Reaper does get dropped in. Kills 2 probes. Does lose the medevac, though. Does lose that medevac. More Marines and SCVs are coming. High Templar will not be able to morph into Storms. He could go for an Arc one if he gets 300 gas, which he does have. Classic supply blocked. Oh, God. Classic supply blocked. He's going up to 7 gateways right now. He's trying to build pylons. He's like desperately trying to buy time, but so much production at the front. He's going to have an Immortal out, but so few Zealots, and Charge is not going to get ready in time. He needs to chrono the heck out of that Twilight Council. Guys, 40 seconds until Charge is ready. Stalkers take a shot on the right side. These Stalkers, Zealot Immortal also takes a shot. Big Zealot warp in, though. Big Zealot warp in. Dude, if he doesn't get charged before the fight happens, he's screwed. I feel like Kua could maybe force this, or he could just use this window of time in order to get bunkers up. Oh, 5 Marines get caught. Massive catch for those Stalkers. That's going to delay the reinforce. You can see now he has to kind of rally his units up, but a little sloppy. Q is so focused on the front. He doesn't want to get jumped on. Charge is going to get time to finish. Charge will get time to finish. Even if he kills this pylon, there's a backup pylon now powering it. Marines continuing to filter in. Oh no, Q are getting a little bit sloppy under pressure, guys. Q are getting incredibly sloppy under pressure. Only 1 bunker coming up as well. Q are just not fixing his rally point. Q, what is this? Oh my lord. I mean, he's still got an amazing killer position. He might just win the game, but he's bled out so many Stalkers. Stalkers come in from behind, or so many Marines, I should say. Stalkers come in from behind. As well as that, the tanks get focused down so quickly. So many tanks, all 3 tanks go down, but he loses all the Zealots, the Immortals, the Archons. 4 Stalkers escape to the right side. Can the Marines finish this off? It's about the Marines and the SCVs up against Zealot Warpins, and the Marines and the SCVs are going to be enough anyway. Even with Kua misrallying into those Stalkers a few times, he gets in there. And Classic has to GG Cure with an incredibly decisive, but I love the way he played this. He keeps him pinned with that pressure. It says, and especially getting the sentry is so key. Let's talk about the sentry, guys. That sentry is a disaster for Classic, because now he doesn't have hallucination. Now, this hallucination should see what's going on if he's looking at it, but look at Classic's vision. He's not looking at it. He's so busy dealing with his drop. Get rid of the production tab. It's going through the base. This is Classic's camera we're on. He looks and he goes, okay, but like he's busy. He's like, oh, I got to build a 3rd. Actually, no, let's go 4 gas. He seems to register that it's a 3 barracks, but of course he doesn't seem to realize that it's actually going to be a double reactor push, which hits even faster. He probably thinks this barracks is going to go on this tech lab, and the push is going to come 1 to 1.5 minutes later than what it actually does, which is why he thinks, cool, we'll take a 4th gas, go Templar Archives, we'll have Storm just in time for that Stim, Combat Shields, Concussive, double medevac production push. That's not the case, though. And Kua just gets in there hard and fast and catches him off guard. Kua doing a sort of off-timing here and really surprising Classic. Great play. All right, guys. Kua up 2-0 now with a very fierce timing. And, well, Classic's going to go gate no scout, which I would like to see a greedier build. I mean, I don't think Kua's going to double proxy Marauder. Well, we know because he hasn't gone out to proxy, but, you know, I think you're down 0-2 as Classic. If you start playing overly safe now, going, oh no, if I lose a game, I'm out, then you're kind of screwed. Now, that being said, he is going to... What is this? Scouting for a barracks behind the natural. Wow, okay. I guess that does happen occasionally. It's surprising to me that so many Protoss players check for that. I'm like, have you guys just been playing a lot against Hon Mono on the ladder, or like what's been going on? I see so many Protoss players check for the barracks behind the natural, and I'm like, when does anyone actually do this? I never see it in pro play, but clearly there's shenanigans that happen in practice and in the ladder that players are traumatized enough to check for. Core before Nexus. Very conservative scout again, so it's pretty chilled out play here for Classic. Up against a 1-Rax expand. Gets here in time to block it. I'd say normally you just want to place that command center off location, which is what he does. It's only off by 1 space. You just lift that up and reposition it later. The joy of Terran. Second gas goes up as well. Alright, so 1-Rax expand. Does Kua open it with the early Cyclone? The early Cyclone has become ubiquitous in this matchup due to the preponderance of Sentry. We are seeing those hallucinations, and Cyclone is the only way you can somewhat limit the scouting, as well as put on very dynamic, flexible forwards pressure. Second gas goes down after factory. He doesn't have to do it by any means, but we've seen so much of it the last few days. I'm wondering if Kua goes for that after the 1-Rax expand. Adept comes out. No chrono on the Stalker, and it looks like the Adept's little slow to shade out, but he's going to go across the map. See if he can find a little bit of scouting. And Twilight Council on the natural. Okay. Creates a bit of a semi-wall with that Twilight Council. Starport goes down immediately. Oh, he's going to swap the factory over. Double Hellion. Okay, okay, not a bad move. Not a bad move. It's a quick factory, isn't it, actually? Yeah, it was a pretty quick factory. Was this a gas first build, guys? This feels like a gas first build, but I'm realizing I didn't check at the very start of the game. 2 Hellions popping pre-3 minutes? I mean, it has to be. There's no other way. Yeah, this is a gas first expand. Cool. Actually, no, because he went Marine instead of Reaper. Doesn't have to be. Could just be Barracks gas. Never mind. Oh, double Widow Mine already coming out. I'm not a big fan of the mine drop openings, but you're up 2 games. Do something a bit unexpected. Could be powerful. Gonna catch him? Oh, does he see him? Yeah. It's an Adept Snipe. Nicely done there. Well played by Cure. Gets himself a unit down. It's 3-gate blink here. Robo's delayed, and there's also no sentry, so no vision for Classic in this game. Meanwhile, oh, we're building 4 mines. Really? 4? Okay. I thought 2 was already a commitment, but I guess we're going to do the old school 4 Widow Mine drop here. Damn, dog. Hellion scouting for proxies, making sure there's no Dark Shrine, delayed Oracle, anything like that. Proxy gates on the edges of the map. And there's going to be Classic building a few pylons here. Goes for the sentry now. So he's going to get that delayed scout with the sentry. If he sees this drop coming in, this could be big. In my opinion, the 4 mine drop can be dealt with pretty smoothly with just a little bit of micro. And wait, Cyclone? Why would you build a Cyclone this late in the game? That's very confusing to me. Cyclone and a Raven. I guess it's just to clean up observers? I'm a little puzzled, guys. It feels very late to be committing to a Cyclone. Q are committing hard to the early game. Oh, this is a bad drop. The Stalkers are on top, and the Widow Mines aren't even in range of the minerals. Medevac gets sniped. I thought it would at least get to the dead space. And he's going to wait for Blink. Oh, no, he's not. He's not going to wait for Blink. Okay, I thought he was going to wait for Blink, but doesn't end up waiting for Blink. And he will clean up these Widow Mines. Still 1 Widow Mine down south that he's got to worry about. These guys are going to try and distract, and then this guy might try to waddle into the mineral line while he's distracted. Still no 3rd Nexus up just yet. I think the Hellion just ran in and killed a probe. No, it didn't. This guy already has 2 kills, though. Maybe he got something. Oh, look at that. Hellion drives in. Probe has to back away. Widow Mine does reposition there. Blink is almost done. Didn't need to sacrifice probes, but Q is like, whatever. It's still a good trade. I mean, he could have done the perfect trade with Blink, but he's like, whatever. I'm focusing on getting my 3rd up. It's all about priorities in StarCraft. It's not about playing perfect. It's about being relatively efficient with your actions and your attention, when there's usually about 50 things pulling your attention this way and that. Now that's interesting, guys. Seeing no 3rd, Q panicked. Q was like, oh crap, am I getting 4-gate blink? So he's gone double bunker, full tank wall off. We, on the other hand, know that there is no plan to be aggressive. Classic is incredibly defensive in this series. Hellion does get in, sees the Forge, sees the Robo, and he's going to immediately sell a bunker. Realizes he was being a bit overly safe there, was Q. A little bit too careful. Tank over here. Cyclone on the edge. I mean, I don't like 4 Widow Mines, 2 Hellions, and a Cyclone. I feel like Cure is committed so much to early game units. I hate that Cyclone. I don't know how you guys feel about it. To me, it just feels dumb. I guess he was worried maybe about like a Prism coming in, wanted some sort of mobile anti-air to deal with it. But the general rule, the reason I'm talking about this for anyone who's maybe not as high level, essentially, if you build a lot of factory and starport units early, it delays your stim, it delays your shields, which is your real power spike timing is Medevacs, Marines, Marauders with these Marine Marauder upgrades. Stim shields, concussive, +1 weapons, all these things are quite delayed. He's not going to be able to move out with that bio Medevac to really assert map control until like 7.5 minutes. Incredibly late in this game, right? Maybe 7 minutes, but he doesn't have that much bio yet. So that's very late. A lot of players, if you rush this, you get out there at 5 minutes, sometimes even earlier, 5.5, 6 minutes sometimes if you've gone for like just a 2 mine drop, but going for 4 mines, 2 Hellions, Cyclone, Raven, all this stuff has massively delayed his bio move out. This gives Classic a bit more time to get established. So even though Classic's 3rd is late, he's now got his Robo Bay on the way and he's going to start heading towards splash damage. Double drop going down the right side as well. Now this Raven can't do anything for the rest of this game. He's just got to basically hold position, and at some point if Classic F2s or moves the Stalkers away, he can come in, spam 3 or 4 auto turrets and kill a ton of probes maybe 5-6 minutes from now. But hey, if you're keeping 2 Stalkers pinned there, that's good enough. Tries to move out. Like I said, 7.5 minutes. Still not on the map with map control. It's a big Stalker complement, though. Look at this, guys. Oh, Classic has sentries in the middle, so if you push through the middle, he's going to try and ambush you. Kua wisely does not go across the bridges. He goes for the right side. Oh, siege tank in the open. Oh, my gosh. I would have been tempted to go for the second tank as well, but he baits the stim, gets a tank. Kua's in big trouble. Force fields here could be really nice. Did he just kill his own Stalker? Classic panics, kills his own Stalker. Does trap some Marines, but loses a sentry as well. Oh my god, he just trapped his own sentry on the outside. Classic. He's down. I get you down 0-2. Take a deep breath, buddy. This is a fantastic setup you have. You're shutting this push down so far, but he's just freaking out right now. Calm down. Good ideas. Sloppily executed so far by Classic. Let's see what he can do. Give up the gate. Cybercore pylon is perfectly fine. Big Zealot counter comes in. There's 2 Widow Mines. Oh, he dodges the Widow Mines. The SCV's like, fine, hide behind them. Just going to send 2 Zealots over into that work line. These guys going to continue in here. Main army backs away, guys. He's going to run home. The Zealots, they kill an SCV. Could do a little bit more. Dude, are we not cleaning this up? Kua's trying to come back. He hasn't defended his 3rd base yet. I guess he's more worried about these Zealots. But that means these 2 are actually going ham in the mineral line. Kua! Oh my lord, what are we doing? Both players are so excited right now. It's a little sloppy, man. It's getting down and dirty when it, you know, you get to the final map potentially in this series. If Kua could win it, he's excited. Widowmine kills the probe, but the Nexus gets down. Unfortunately, he wasn't blocking it with the Widowmine, so he doesn't get the delay off. Dude, who's ahead after this? I don't even know. I mean, I think it's Classic's bought time, but his 4th is kind of late. He's got his +2 almost done, which is going to be a very powerful moment for him. 60 workers aside. I mean, Kua's supply is good. He's got double eBay armory now, but look at this. Zealots on the right, Zealots on the left. Widow Mines do get taken out. And he saves the tank. Nicely done. I'd like to see Kua split his army up. I really feel like Kua right now needs to get rid of this Observer. Oh, he scans. He misses the Observer. It's right above his army. His mule's not mining. These SCVs are chasing a tank that's running. Dude, Kua's playing so sloppy right now. He's getting way too excited. It should be Classic that's afraid, that's panicky. But Kua's almost too excited about getting to that finals, and I think he's freaking out. Dude, +2's about to kick in. It's not there just yet, though. Disruptor Ball! Disruptor Ball does get a couple of Marauders. One of them goes down, 2 of them deep in the red. Good force fields. The Colossus getting good shots, and Classic is going to pull back. What a weird game this has been. It's been kind of crazy, guys. Looks like the Raven did move. It did go down. Twitch chat was tracking that one. Triple drop goes into the main base. Going to try and go for maybe this Artosis pylon there. Maybe get a few probes as well. Could be good. Meanwhile, Zealots get cleaned up by the bio. Nicely done. No recall. Robobay goes down. And you got to get these guys out of here. You do not want to lose these. You've already done some good damage. Don't overstay. That Stalker warp in means you're stuck. He's going to push the front at the same time. Disruptor did not land a good enough shot by the looks of it. Saves a few of these units, hides in the back. Meanwhile, push on the front, gets the 4th base. Is Kua going to get a 3-0? No way. Even though he's been a bit panicky, he's not mining gas on his 3rd. His double upgrades have started. He's building a bunker up there. Finally, he's pulling back with his army. Yeah, he could try to finish this. I wouldn't mind him breaking these rocks, for instance, or just rotate around. He's like, dude, you're on 3 base, I'm on 3. I mean, you could start a 4th command center. You're adding ghosts now as Kua. Kua's in a fantastic position. He's still got the drop threatening in the back. 4 Stalkers will not stop that from unloading. But it's a big, scary Protoss army. Only down 14 army supply, +2 attackers done against 1-1. You've only got 5 Vikings, 1 tank, but there's only 2 Colossus. I don't know. This Observer, though. The Observer's there. The Zealots are there. Classic on 50 probes. It's all about the Hail Mary Disruptors. He's going to rebuild his Robobay and a second Robo. He's going to believe in the Disruptors. Classic will put his faith in the balls, which gives Kua all the time in the world to add a 4th, get his 2-2, ship weapons, 2 more barracks, 3 more barracks even. Yeah, he's in a great spot, isn't he? Sensor Tower spots the army, scan confirms. He finally gets rid of the Observer here, guys. Is that the first Observer he's sniped in this game? To be fair, Classic's not a big Observer user. I do think it's a potential weak point. Oh, gets the Sensor Tower. I like that. Trade a Zealot or 2 to get the Sensor Tower, so there isn't as much warning next time. Another scan goes down. Kua's like, dude, are you watching me? Oh, look at this. I love the Zealot drop behind the natural. Too many people go down the left side, and that's what turrets and units always are. The natural, usually the most undefended angle for drops. I've been a big proponent of players dropping this angle instead of the main for many years. Bio, oh, the Marines are up front, but the Zealots will get gunned down by the bunker. Tank does fall. Zealot warping in the main as well. Is this worth it for Classic? Remember, he's low on income, so he's got to trade well. He can't just, like, buy time here. And he's losing a lot of Zealots. Units lost tab 2,500 in favor of Cure. Stalkers do get rid of a Viking. 2 Vikings for an Observer. Great trade for Classic. Bio catches these Zealots. 2 of them go down. I like the way he's getting map vision now, map control. You can tell Classic's getting pushed into his corner. And remember, Classic plays a low Observer style. So it's especially bad when you've only got 1 Observer. Like, if he was mixing a few more Observers in, which I think he could afford to, he could maybe track the army, maybe land an ambush Disruptor. As it is, Classic's just in survival mode. He's trying to get a 5th up, trying to make Disruptors. He can't even afford to make more upgrades right now. He's got to get +2 armor or +3 attack. Probably +3 attack would be the priority. He retargets the Widowmine on the sentry. Cure with a very slick move. Vikings a little bit exposed. Command Center has to lift. SCVs are also a bit exposed. 13, 14 workers going down. Make it 15. Hey, lovely poke there. Meanwhile, it looks like these drops got F2'd home from the back corner. And oh, did he just fly them all through and get them all killed? I don't know where the other 2 drop ships that were in the back went, but it looks like they must have died as well. Unfortunate for Cure. Classic somehow has the army advantage. Cure's economy has just crumbled. His 3rd dies. What the heck? This game has been really, really kind of unpredictable in that the players are losing track of each other's armies, sometimes getting caught off guard. And if Classic can bring it back from here, we get a longer series, which is good. I like hype. I like close series. I think the games have been fantastic. Like, game 1 was amazing, right? It was so close. I'd love to see more games here, but felt like Cure was ahead for a long time. Now his income's nowhere near Classic's. And oh, Classic on both sides. Disruptor, Colossus, Stalker. So many Stalkers, though. Oh, that Ghost just got friggin' shot into the void. Dude, that Disruptor. Oh my god, it uses Yeet. It is highly effective. The Bio Viking pushing forward. Classic not willing to fight. He's going to go for the counterattack. Can he if he can keep pumping Disruptors and maybe defend at home, that could be a really good move. I don't know if this is a good move or a bad move. It's definitely decisive, and I love players who are decisive in high-pressure situations, but he needs to move these valuable units up the ramp right now, or he needs to get out of here. What's he doing? He's out in the open. The Vikings, they're going to get on top. The Vikings way in front. Super dangerous move there. But the Stalkers come in from the left. They get some medevacs. A few Vikings go down. 1 Colossus goes down. He hallucinates another Colossus. Cure's splitting his army in half. Wait, what's Cure doing? Cure didn't dive? I thought Cure was either bringing his whole army back or committing. But Cure being super indecisive. I thought his whole army was coming back, but he only sent some of his army back. The other half went to the corner. Wild game. Both players are feeling the pressure so hard right now, and you can see the mistakes are starting to come in. It's not, StarCraft is not about who plays perfect. No one ever plays a perfect StarCraft game. It literally never happened. It is who can handle the pressure better, who can still flow through the chaos. And right now, I think it might be Classic. Both players' income is completely shot. It's army against army. He has 9 Disruptors. I once again would love Storm in this situation, but I mean, committing to Storm when you have no income is crazy. Oh, and he finds half of the army. The Stalkers say no way home. They blink forward to focus the medevacs. Yes, the Bio EMP takes out the Stalkers. He focuses the Disruptors down, but 1 ball lands and the entire Terran army in the top left gets isolated. You can't be split into 2 squads like that when it comes down to army against army. He got found and isolated, and that was such a big victory because now, look at that. Classic, 3,000 resources more efficient. That's not meant to be the case. That's not how PvT is meant to work. PvT, Terran is meant to be a bit more efficient, but Classic has turned this game around from down 50 probes to a full 3-base Terran going on 4. Hasn't made an upgrade in the last 8 minutes, and he's actually going to rebuild 2 Nexi. He's still got the probe count, so he can actually just transfer if he gets these bases up. Cure can't rebuild from here, but Cure's got less army, so Cure's forced to do some sort of delayed and demented all-in, and Classic just needs to survive it. If he survives the all-in, he wins the game. Cure's hoping the army pushes. He thinks, oh, it's, you know, we both have no economy. And it's like, no, dude, he's rebuilding, so this is going to dawn on Cure, and wow, what a weird game. I feel like the handling of the Zealots' counterattacks was not good for Cure, right? That was something where he could have improved. And that really distracted him early. But then he got some great fights up here. Denied the Nexus, you know, got himself in a really good position. And then he kind of lost track of that army on the left. After the sensor tower got sniped, and Classic was able to just start isolating units. The drop from the back flew through, got itself killed. This base got sniped as well as a ton of workers for basically for free. And then from that point, when the base trade started, I've got to rewind. Why was there an army over here? I don't know why that army didn't shove into Classic's base. I guess because he thought there was disruptors in front of him. But in that case, why didn't he bring his whole army home to shut down Classic's? The split of the army during the base trade is the part I need to go look at the replay, because things happen so fast in StarCraft, and I can't even pretend to keep up with it when there's so much happening in that situation. I can guess, I can try to figure it out, but I'm wondering why Keward didn't bring his whole army home. Of course, this is an easy victory for Classic now. He would need to really make some huge mistakes. Look at the army advantage. 45 army supply advantage. Disruptors, force fields, 4 Colossus. Keward with a big spready. I like Keward's positioning, man. It's a good setup for him, like the way he's trying to come in like this, but Disruptors zoning out, landing big balls on the Terran. My lord. The Colossus Stalker doing well. Good fallback micro. The Stalkers blink forward and start focusing the Vikings. The Colossus Immortal is roasting and toasting. That's going to be 16 workers going down, and the entire army. Classic will not go down without a fight. GG, well played. All right, guys, we've got Kira in the top left side of the map. Still only 1 game away from finishing. Both players had a few panicky moments in that last game. And now, unfortunately for Classic, we're going on to Pylon, which is a pretty short map. Those Terran pushers can materialize out of nowhere and be very frightening. He's going to once again play incredibly safe. Classic's really got like a mode, right? Scout the natural, go across the map. We haven't seen any Stargate play for him. Is this the map to mix in a Phoenix Colossus or something? Well, no, not really. I think Classic's just going to do the same thing, right? He's very much been playing European-style PvT. He's like, I have figured out a style and I like it. I will go Blink with some Sentry Scouts into Psystorm. Take a somewhat delayed third. He did skip Psystorm last game, to be fair. Last game he went Robo Bay. Sorry, guys. I like it because back in the day, people said Koreans were robots because they didn't show a lot of emotion in the interview on camera. So I've been doing my part. We're doing an anti-racism where we basically instead hate on Europeans and say they're the robots because they play very defensively. I'm equalizing the stereotypes. One step at a time. I'm like, hey, the Koreans actually play fun, aggressive styles. It's the Europeans that don't have personality. Anyway, interestingly, he brings an SCV down to rotate that one back. Ah, okay. And it is going to be the Marauder opening. This is my least favorite opening. You guys have heard me talk about how I think it's Garbo. He's going to rush Concussive into Marauder, and he's going to hope to catch the first Adept or Stalker that comes out. If the Stalker doesn't move across the map, I think it's just Stalker Sentry this opening, right? Delayed Twilight. Just going to wait for 100 gas. Yeah. It's just going to wait for 100 gas. 92, 96, 100. Sentry starts up. Second barracks goes down behind this for Keward. Does he go 3 barracks afterwards? Interesting. This could be cool. The reason I dislike this build is it delays your reactor a long time. You don't have a lot of units overall early on. And if you don't manage to catch a Stalker or an Adept coming across the map to pressure you early, feels like any pressure going to the other side pretty much never finds damage. So for me, I'm just not that big of a fan of it because it just feels like you are investing in a lot of tech early with very low potential payoff, other than just making your opponent be a bit more cautious about stepping on your side of the map. But it's been a mainstay among top Terrans for a long time, and as a result, you know, I don't think it's bad. It's just, for me, one of those builds I look at and I kind of go, oh, Terran rarely ends up in a good position after this early game. And I don't know, I do feel like a bit of statistical analysis would probably back up my point if someone could ever be bothered crunching the numbers with a success rate. But you'd have to see. Obviously, you need top player against top player, that sort of thing. A few little guardrails with those stats. It's always hard looking at stats and success rates because you've got such a difference in skill level between different players as well. The Cyclone and 3 barracks. Now, the Phoenix sees everything. A safe player here would just go 2 base and say, well, you're 3 barracks on 2 base. I'm going to go straight for Storm or Robo Bay. Classic is going to go for the 3rd, which essentially means he's somewhat committed to a Zealot Stalker defense. Because you're not going to have time against this. If he commits to a non-starport push, right? If he just goes builds a tank next. Marines, tanks, shove across this map. No third gas, no engineering bay, no starport, which it looks like he's committing to right now. You're not going to have time to get to splash damage and also benefit off a third base. So we've got 2 more gateways coming down. That's going to be 4 gate blink to get a bit of map control. And he's probably going to go straight to charge after blink stun. Stalkers are going to get out front and try to slow down any move across the map. You do not want to be super aggressive with these Stalkers. You want to just make sure as he pushes out, you try to get rid of the Cyclone if you can, because that's the most annoying long-range, high-damage unit that punishes you when you're kiting them. And then just pick off as many Marines, maybe Beta Stim, that sort of thing. Engineering Bay does go down. 5 gateways. Yeah. Oh, he's going to go no forge. Not even single forge. He's just going to go... he's going to say, look, going for the third's a bit greedy against this. But if I go straight up to 6 or 8 gateways, Zealot Stalker, we're going to be in a good spot. And I would not be surprised to see charge start up very soon. He does add some sentries to add, a second sentry to add a little bit of oomph. And he chronos and queues up charge. Yeah, this is a good way to keep it simple. 7 gateways, Zealot Stalker charge. If Q moves out and just gets swarmed by Zealot Stalker force field, Classic will absolutely rinse him. And notice, he's only on 2 gas. Yeah. He's not even fully saturating the third. He's stopping at 12 workers. Beautiful play here by Classic. And Cyclone's the problem, like I said. Gonna blink back everyone at once. Maybe a little too cautious there. Oh, it's a good Stalker count. Oh, here comes another lock-on. Oh, Classic, gotta be careful. Gets himself another Marine or 2. Hasn't baited any stims, though. Tanks try to set up a bit of an ambush. If he pokes back up that ramp, this will be good for Cure. Oh, he gets the double shot. Stalkers come in and get a nice volley, though. And I think Cure's just gonna pack it away now. What? Guys, he's doing his 6 barracks all in. 6 barracks, no starport. Oh my god, he's going full America. No healthcare. This is amazing. This is amazing, dude. Oh my gosh, no starport. +1 weapon, stim shields, concussive, 6 barracks, gets another Stalker kill. It's still a big all-in, but because he's sitting at home, Classic will read this and go, oh, you're probably building a starport, 3rd and 4th gas. You're going to go 3rd command center. Like because he's not moving out as aggressively, you think, oh, he's probably not committing. But the Hallucinated Phoenix confirms. Hallucinated Phoenix does see it coming. He's going Robo Forge. He's thinking about the transition. Classic's going to realize, wait, this is still a big commitment. Does he have enough Zealots to deal with it? He might. He's got to split. He's got to flank. If he can flank with Zealots from the side, come in from 2 angles with Guardian Shield, it could be massive. He's going to go for the one-directional engagement, though, onto a ramp. Why do players do this? Please flank. Oh, here comes the SCV pull. He's got so much Protoss, though. Oh, gotta be careful about wasting the charge. Bunker's coming in. What? Cure is going ham. He cannot stim. Remember, every stim, there is no healing. Siege tank in the open. Siege tank in the open. Will the Stalkers find it? They find it. They find a siege tank. That is a massive pickoff. He gets it just barely. The bio tries to save it, but that means the tanks aren't guarded. And Cure, he leaves his tanks unguarded. Classic takes the opportunity, dives in, gets the tanks, kills the SCVs on the bunkers. Beautiful maneuver by Classic. And Cure, oh, he should have just given the tank up. He wasn't willing to. He wanted to punish those Stalkers, and he's the one who gets pulled out of position. And now you see, he doesn't want to stim again, because every stim cannot be healed. Beautiful handling by Classic. That Stalker flank was absolutely perfect. Zealot Stalker Sentry trying to come in. The America line was obviously a joke, guys. I know there's already a few triggered people in the comments. Take a breath, guys. It's all good. Just a joke. Zealot's getting gunned down. They moved out a Guardian Shield pretty quickly. Dude, still a big bio army, but they don't have a good follow-through. If you can just keep making him stim, you can go good, but there's a tank. The tank adds really good range firepower. Leave half your army there, half the army move right for Cure, and that's going to force these guys to engage into this. Still trying to keep everything in a big ball. Doesn't want to let the Zealots get on top. Notice he's not stimming. Now he has to stim because the Stalkers and Probes are going to go for it. The army's so damaged. The Probes going down. Dude, this is nail biting. The Marines just aren't dying, though. The Probes do nothing. The Stalkers need to get out. You cannot fight when he stims. I think for Classic, you need to make him stim, run away, make him stim, run away. You can't stand and fight with this. I think choosing to fight there was a big mistake. I think Classic needed to keep counterattacking, and there should have been Zealots dealing with the rally the entire time. He never should have had all of his Zealots on the front. It's a crucial mistake, and I think even though he scouted what was happening, Cure, oh, wait, he might be able to do it. Nice Stalker flank comes in. Oh, but the tank does get a good shot. The stim there as well. It's still so close. 43 army supply to 22. Those 2 Stalkers getting hunted down. The thing is, remember, like I said, with no healthcare, even though you've got so many Marines rallying, you're only on 26 workers. You don't have healing for them. There is another tank coming, though. He's got to protect this tank. These Marines need to be further forward. He can't be having his Marines behind the tank. He needs them in front. The Marines do run forward. They're very damaged. He's trying to use the siege tank as an actual tanking unit. The Zealots, every time they hit a Marine, it dies. The Immortal Zealot Stalker trying to do what they can. The damage output of the Marines is insane, though. I think Kua's going to do it. He's actually going to break through. And classic, the Stalkers try to come forward. The tank and Marine does push in. But, dude, it looks like I think Kua has the numbers now with no third base mining. Classic, I don't think he can buy enough time against this. And the 6 barracks, 2 base all-in, massive SCV pull, such a big commitment. He's even brought more SCVs. He's starting yet another bunker. He has 500 gas in the bank, which I think he's pulled off gas mining at home. He has. He's pulled off gas mining at home as well because he realized he just needs minerals now. Just dropping mules, making Marines and bunkers and SCVs. That's all he needs. He's going to try and defend this tank. The Stalkers blink in. They get the tank, but he loses most of his Stalkers for it. Guardian Shield is so nice. But the sentry will go down finally, even with the battery there. And that natural is getting in trouble. The Marines are so damaged. He doesn't want to stim them again. But if you can get rid of every probe on this natural, it's A-okay. And oh my lord, that's so much. Gets inside the bunker as well. The Marines now moving up here. And you can see you just want to keep baiting out stims and fighting away from the big ball of Marines. It's all about fighting away from the ball of the Marines, but I don't think Classic realized there was no medevacs for this push. I don't think he realized for a long time how all in this push was because it was delayed. And you can see probes pulling in do absolutely nothing against the damage, firepower density of Kua. Beautiful play for Kua. He's going to get the 3-1 victory. So close to holding for Classic, but Kua comes out on top.